when you want to influence people between age 16 and 21, I believe, are the best age ranges to influence someone in order to lock them in for life, and you're more likely to guarantee that they'll stay locked in at that age range. So it's sad.
And what's the one
Well,
thing
I
needed
think it's.
to do
I
that?
think it's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
The one thing needed to do that, right, is a scapegoat. Right? We always need to give somebody a scapegoat, somebody else to blame, right? When we approach disenfranchised youth, the easiest thing to do is to tell them that somebody else, right, is causing their problems.
Yeah, it's the soft bigotry
Now,
of low
now,
expectation.
now, the funny part, I believe, and I've listened to a lot of content from it, especially Andrew Tate. He just tells you to, this is the world, get over it, and do what you must as a man. That's the end result. Now, it's funny. I call cap on everything everybody says. Y'all always act like y'all care about boys. Even what's his name? Will Ferris. He wrote a book, The Boys Crisis. Like, society mostly has ignored boys, period. People can say whatever they want to say on these panels. Oh, you really care. Oh, we really. No, you don't. There's social experiments where a boy get left in the park. Nobody wants to help the little boy. Doesn't matter. Little girl gets left in the park. Somebody's like, oh man, let's help her out. Is she okay? So society really just doesn't care. It's always been like that. I'm not complaining. But everybody act like they actually do care. It's just bogus. Now, the kids aren't listening to the role models, their dads, for whatever reason. I don't know. You have to go in the household and see what's the reason. But they are listening to those people, right?
No,
At the
it's
end of the
actually-
day.
Yeah.
No,
Care more
what?
about
He
Zygote
was,
than embryo.
he
Hold on,
was
hold
super
on.
Actually-
popular.
No,
What do you
no,
mean
hold
they
on.
weren't listening to him?
You,
They were
you
listening
said
to him.
you said
right?
that society as a whole doesn't care. No,
Most,
you're right.
yes, facts.
You're right. And that's not what we're saying. We're saying that society as a whole does not care. And in fact,
Yeah.
it is the
So that's why
boys
they're going on
that are
that.
refusing to listen to their fathers, the real role models. That's what I just said. These real men in their life. Instead, they go to society, which is the internet. That is exactly what I
Yes,
just said.
people go on the internet. It's 2025. Are you just aware of this? Do you think women are only listening
My
to their
point
mothers and they're
is,
not going
listen,
online? The
My
same
point
thing,
is
the
that they
same
don't need to
phenomenon.
go to the internet. The
The same
manosphere is a
phenomenon. Oh
place
my
that
gosh,
preys
is he
on
not
them.
listening? He's
You keep
crashing out or
telling,
something.
look, you keep refusing to hear what I say, which is
I
that
heard what you said. You said women
society
do the same
does
thing.
not care. We don't care. Society, the men in your life do.
Thanks,
Go to the
Baxter
men.
boy.
Not
Women
society.
women go
Appreciate you,
to
buddy.
other women online. They don't only go to their mothers.
It's not a good thing.
It's just, I don't care what you say is good or bad. I'm telling you what it is. That's
I'm-
what they do. It's
Is
a
anyone
different
denying
world
that
we
like
live in.
women go to different spaces online as well? Like
No, so what I'm just trying
No.
to add is we're pointing at the boys like the boys are going online and they're not going to their fathers. Same as women. They're not going to their mothers. They're going to the internet and learning from the internet. That's where it is. They're not listening to you. They're not listening to you chastise them for going on the internet. They're going to do it. They're going to listen to Andrew Tate. They're going to listen to Fresh and Fit. And they're going to see, what can I listen to change my life? Or they won't change their life. Some might just sulk in it.
Most
So is that a
probably.
good
are.
thing or is it a
Yeah.
bad thing?
Well, this is
It's
also
just a
like
human thing.
society
I don't
itself
think it's
recalibrating
Can you-
to having access to more ideas earlier in life, right?
The nation
Look,
is doing great. What do you mean?
I
it's
love,
bad?
I love you being
I
here,
did,
bro.
but I got
You really
I got
do
bought back on by
know
the same
exactly
person who
what's going
booted me,
on. And I
ironically,
see
and
that.
Alexander. So shout out to both.
But you have a hard time
Jason and Alexander.
choosing a position on is it good or is it bad. In this
I
case,
have a hard time of doing it.
yes, I just
Okay, the
asked,
combat veteran has a hard time of doing
yeah,
it.
is
just
it
because
good
I
or
don't
is it
agree
bad?
with what you're
Bro,
saying.
look, you can't more credit yourself. This isn't
I
how
love
that
doing
works.
that. I love
I know,
doing it.
I know. You can't.
But at
put
the end of the
yourself
I mean,
day,
on
if, look,
I
if he
don't
doesn't want to
agree
put a
with
moral
you.
judgment
I
on
don't
it, don't
agree
force
with
force him to, right? You can just
Yeah,
like
that's
you
what I'm
can
saying.
make someone else have a
Like,
conversation
people
about
like
it.
Clay don't
Hold on,
get
hold
it.
on. You can
People
say I
like
don't
Clay don't
know
get
and I
that.
don't have a position,
It's not
but
that
you
I
can't
don't
say it's
know.
just what it is.
Of course he
It's
can.
just what it is.
I just
He
said
can.
it.
He literally
I just
did.
said
We can
I
move
did.
on from it, and then we can like we don't have to
That's
care
right,
that he's just
exactly.
describing
Ryan,
things
I don't
that we
think
don't
he needs
like
you
that
to
we already all
advocate
know,
for
right?
him.
We can just mock him. I mean, we could
Ryan,
be
the
mean
thing
to him
is
for
that
that, I
I know
guess,
he's
right?
But
black.
you want
He
me to
is
be mad at you and go
disproportionated,
back
but
and
he's a
forth? You have
millionaire.
your
He can
opinion.
make his own
Clay,
stand.
You
Yeah, 'cause
have
what
your
was the
opinion,
question?
Clay.
The
We don't
original
agree.
You can feel
Like
a way about
Clay,
it.
you're just
I don't
derailing
think
us
it's
like
super
in this
bad.
way,
Ryan,
right?
hello,
Be
Ryan.
different.
Hi.
I don't
You
think
want
it's super
Hey,
bad.
one
I
at a
think
time
overall
about
the nation is
One
doing
at a
pretty
time.
good.
Ryan needs
Okay,
to
go ahead.
advocate for you. Go ahead, Ryan. Advocate for the man.
I'm not advocating for anyone. I'm saying. In fact, I was saying we can, if you want to bully him for just like, oh, you're just you're just pretending. I mean, what he's doing is describing the way things are. No one's arguing with that, so we can just point at him and say, well, yeah, no one's disagreeing with you. Thank you for your input, and then move on in the conversation. You don't. What you're doing is like locking us down in that part of it for no reason.
Hang on, guys.
I don't know we can't. We're talking at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
That you're not the center of attention. Shut the fuck up for 2 seconds and let me and Obstacles have a little back and forth. Is that possible?
I want to bully both of you guys.
Thoughts aren't real.
I'm gonna put you guys in lockers and stuff.
Fucking little whiny bitch you are.
I mean, I thought he asked me a question, and then I started talking, and he just never stopped.
Sarah,
So my bad.
I apologize. I went upstairs. I text my daughter and I asked her. I said, "Can you make some more coffee?" Like assuming that when I get up there it will be ready, and it was not. And she's
You had
over
to get
there.
the gun.
She's over there giggling and snarking, like he. And then I said, "Oh, like, are you hungry?" I was thinking about, or no, I just said, "Are you hungry?" And she said, "Oh yeah, what do you?" And I was like, "Oh, I was thinking about ordering something." And she's like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna get?" And I was like, "I guess maybe you gotta take your phone off of Do Not Disturb to find out."
Sorry, Spartacus.
And I did my little snarky.
Thank you
walk
for
as I
fighting
walked
for
back
my honor.
downstairs. Anyways, I apologize if everything got crazy or whatever the case may be. Quick thing from James, and I did put a new dono goal for the Brokies since you guys have been so kind. I put in a dono goal for the Brokies with the $5. Painting the manosphere with a broad brush, putting Rolo and others describing intersexual dynamics in the same bucket as the clickbait guys isn't proper. Any thoughts to that?
I think there's something to that.
Get a lot of attention.
Hence what I was trying to say, but yeah.
I think guys like Rolo have a more watered down version of the kind of stuff that Myron and them say, and it's definitely more digestible. I still think the issue, like when he says when James here says like that Rolo and others are describing intersexual dynamics, Are they always doing that, or are they painting with or are they doing exactly what you're pointing to us right now and saying we're doing? Is that they're painting with a broad brush about what men and women are like and how men and women interact? And I think that's the thing to watch out for. People are like way more different than you think, and just be conscious of that.
Yeah, it sounds like the hardest part will be deciding what the definition of manosphere is.
Where did Clay go?
I don't know.
He kind of poofed.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He just disappeared.
Another radical coder W.
Maybe because he saw the timeout. I don't know, but
Rage quit.
Clay. Well, he was frozen earlier, so maybe he's having internet issues. But Mama requested that Clay be timed out, and Jason has sponsored Mama's decision. So don't fuck with Mama in the chat. Just so you know, Mama speaks and Jason funds it. Thank you so kindly, Jason. I will inform Clay if he returns. He's got a 10-minute time out upon return. Mr. Tom says, I propose that there are in parties which are modeled as probabilistic polynomial time Turing machines with some agreement on the common parameters of the AKE protocol. Just saying. Holy crap.
Turing
I know those words and I still don't know what you're saying.
Am I still in the hospital?
Probabilistic, so it's based off probability instead of determinism. So you would get a chance at something being true as opposed to a definitive answer of true or false.
Sure.
Polynomial time, I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Well, polynomial time just means that it's referring to like how long it takes for the problem to be solved with reference to the input n.
But
so n parties, he's saying. So there's n. So when he says n parties, he's referring to the number of parties as the value n, and that it's like the way it would take a computer to compute that or run an algorithm on those inputs would scale polynomially. Polynomially, which is usually like a
polynomial is not a scale. That just means multiple numbers.
Well, in computer science, it means a specific. Also mathematics, it means a specific thing. It's talking about a specific kind of equation, right? It's as opposed to exponential, for example, like as opposed to exponential or logarithmic.
Exponential is its own definition.
Well, exactly. What I know that's what I'm saying is that the different categories of time scaling in mathematics and computer science are going to be things like logarithmic, polynomial,
Good Lord.
exponential, right? Like
I know, my
that's what they're
brain
going
is
to
like
common denominator.
frying
No.
right now.
I'm from South Alabama, so y'all got to quit with all this math stuff. I'm a public school graduate.
Plenty of people in Alabama can do math. Don't worry, and they can get excited about math, and you could even learn it if you set your mind to it.
Count your fingers.
let's get
I'm
Mr.
getting
Tom
ready.
says, you see, the ontological reality of the these are really big words, Tom. You're killing me. You see, the
Epistemological.
ontological. Don't you from Alabama?
Bounded with
The
the
ontological
taxonomy.
reality of the epistemological argument is bounded with the taxonomy.
Taxonomy.
Taxonomy of a limited relational vocabulary, which I seem to fail at this evening, that confounds the truth statements with the dogmatic dialectic.
Conflation. Some people are set in their ways.
Long way to go to say speak better.
That was a very photosynthetic super chat there.
Definitely, that's the word I would use too.
Dang old Gators ain't got no epistemological
just
view
for
on that, man. I'll tell you what.
fucking clip that ship and send it. And Trigger Max sends in the big 5 just to say I wanted to show my support. I'm loving the content. Thank you, Trigger Max, and welcome. Tom, I hate you so much right now, but I do love you. Thank you.
I think you're saying that we're stating as truth our own personal beliefs.
That sounds about right.
I don't know. I think he just said he wanted
And that
to
you're
watch
attached
my
to them.
brain melt.
It just wants Sarah to scream, confound it.
Confounded. Okay, Ryan, choice is yours. I still have a couple more Manosphere oriented. Oh, did somebody want to respond back on something?
Well, I started trying to come in when y'all were talking about the whining feminine people in the manosphere. And then by the time I got here, y'all were doing like quantum physics or something. So I'm a little shell shocked right now.
We can
So
keep going in Manosphere stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Well, what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead,
Dave.
Trippy.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Go right ahead, dude.
Go ahead, Dane.
Man. Oh yeah, this
Okay.
guy.
What I was gonna say when the Sasquatch guy, wherever he went.
I was Christine.
You know, he's the first person I heard
Alex
actually
and
express
Jason
that.
himself
But I've
brought
been
me
saying
back.
for a while now. You know, when I first became aware of this whole XY side of the chromosomal internet, you know, was with the Godfather Kevin Samuels. You know, rest in peace. But and everything, and then from there, I stumbled on Pearl, and then eventually to whatever podcast that Andrew and Jim Bob, and then on down the the slide I went. But what I found, and I actually got banned from Pearl's live chat because I expressed this in the live chat, is that I found that what Sasquatch, I think he was saying, is true. And that is that there's a lot of these guys that get attracted to these influencers. And what it is that they've had failures with women, or they've been, they believe, mistreated by women. And so they get drawn to these messages that say, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. These women are just scheming, good for nothing, little shrews. And sometimes,
Dean's cooking
let's
right
be
now.
honest, they are.
Savage.
But that's kind of the message. And it's like, like on
He was
Pearl's content sometimes, it's like,
sometimes
come over here and
that's
cry
true.
on
Sometimes they
mommy's
are.
shoulders, and everything will be okay. And I think there are a lot of those men who are really just what I call feminized men. They're just weak, and they're just looking for someone to make them feel better about their failures, and they just get sucked into it. And then I end up in the live chat sometimes, like over on her stream, and when I tell these guys the arguments and complaints and stuff that you're giving, they sound just like the feminist over there who are saying men suck, and the basic message in this live chat are women suck. So that's really a feminine thing, and I see very little solutions. And I did enjoy seeing that Sasquatch was an old guy like me, and this guy Uncle Fatty too. We look like we're about the same age, although he's not nearly as good looking as I am. But but I say that as humbly as I possibly can. Okay,
I got the lights off.
Oh, that's a good thing. But I find that a lot of these guys that are giving this advice out, the ones who actually give advice, have not really had relational success themselves. And that's not
true.
just
Exactly.
and
what I
that's
was saying,
not-
yeah.
They've never had a relational
Is it
problem
victimhood?
themselves.
Well, that's not an ad hominem. I'm not saying that means that what they're saying is incorrect. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it does make a difference. Like, I've been with the same woman for 36 years, and we've raised 5 children together. That doesn't mean that my ideas and arguments are true. but at least it's something on the resume. But it just seems like so much of this red pill stuff is like sleep with as many women as you can, earn as much money as you can, that sort of stuff. It just doesn't seem to have much substance for the long haul to me. And, I see these guys in the live chat that just sit around saying, my wife left me and took all my money and I can't hardly see my kids, which is a bad thing. But, a lot of these guys that I see saying it, they always say it's her, it's her, it's her, it's her. And my experience in my 54 years is that when a divorced person, male or female, says that they were the perfect spouse and the other person was the evil one, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. There's something they contributed, but when you start talking to some of these guys, they get upset at you and then they just tell you that you're a male feminist and all that stuff. So I was just glad to see the Sasquatch was saying that, because I hadn't really heard anybody else really express that.
Yeah, I actually said something very similar to that, Dane. Funny enough, I think we clashed the other day, but yeah, we largely agree on what you just outlined. And one of the things I've talked about before was I think I have a video on this, or at least referencing this. Like Pearl made this like documentary, or there was I don't know, I'm sure she's released it since then, but I remember she released an advertisement for this documentary she was making, and one of the things she offered in her ad for this video, or for this documentary, is that she was offering divorced dads for $20,000, they would pay her $20,000 and she would put a message from them into her documentary for their ex-wife. And I really want you guys to think about how down bad you have to be in a situation where you're going to drop $20,000 to send a message to your ex. Like I'm sure a lot of us have sent angry text to an ex-girlfriend, and like, man, you regret those. You don't want that permanently in Pearl's documentary, dude. Like that's scary, and that's super like just disgusting of her, frankly.
She's also doing the Cameo thing now, where you can pay Pearl to go tell Becky she's a whore or whatever. And I mean, to me, honestly, I kind of want to Cameo her to tell me I'm amazing, just so I can have a clip of her saying it. And hey, I pay my money, right? Like, you have to do it, dance monkey dance. But if, to me, it's just like what kind of more problems are you causing by doing? Like, I know there's one guy that does. Somebody's got feedback. I know there's one guy that does. I'll deliver your bad news. Right? Pay me whatever amount and I'll deliver your bad news for you, which I think is really cool. But like, that's it. Like, you are just delivering bad news, and some of it's good, some of it's crazy, some of it's off the wall. But I don't think telling Pearl to go tell Becky she's a whore and send it to her is really doing anybody any good.
Right. When I first came across Pearl, it was when she was doing her stuff over in London and she had the panels, and that was entertaining. Right. Like I said, I'm a 54-year-old man, been with the same. I found one pretty woman with low standards in men. So I hurried up and married her. And then I just, nothing says I love you like a restraining order. So I just didn't go away and everything. So I don't have much in common with the dating sort of scene, but it was entertaining. And I enjoyed it. And then she got demonetized. And so I still kind of supported her. She got her little website going. I said, well, this is a young woman. She's in her 20s. Some of my kids are older than her.
When Pearl started, she had no idea about the dating scene either. So you guys were on equal footing.
Yeah, well, so it continued moving forward. And then when she finally got remonetized and she started coming all out with this, like, women suck, black people suck. And that's basically the gist of her argument. I was like, when she first started drifting that way, I offered some input that kind of tried to say, well, that's not true, this, that, and the other. And then boom. I mean, I had like a paid membership to her site. They canceled my membership and gave me my money back.
Shit.
That's how much I pissed her off. Told me, her moderator told me that the things that I said in chat.
Yeah, Fuzzy, that part kind of flew by.
Offend chatters and keep them from interacting. And basically it created a bad atmosphere, which is a feminine argument. It's a feminine argument to say, behave in the group, because if you don't, people won't like you and they won't come. So we want you to behave. That's that sort of feminine thing. Behave, boys, act right. Don't run in the house. Don't bring any candy unless you have enough for everyone. That's a maternal mothering thing, but she's supposed to be in the manosphere. Didn't make sense to me. But again, I'm from South Alabama. Maybe I'm just not smart enough for that.
Mr. Tom says, to simplify what Dan said, Observations suggest that certain recurrent. There's all these big fucking words. Damn it, Tom. Observations. I need my glasses on. Observations suggest that certain recurrent patterns of conduct in males exhibit a marked deficit in emotional responsibility, engendering a sense of disenchantment. Is that what you were trying to say, Mr. Dan?
Well, I actually am. I spell redneck REDNEQUE because I'm an upscaled luxury version of a redneck. So I do have a college degree and everything, but I'll need to shift my mind in a four-wheel drive to really answer that question because it's got all those syllables in it. But
that's fair.
So yeah. So I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go with yes. I guess I'll take yes for 1,000, Alex.
Yes, for 1,000, Alex. And I need to take a moment, if everyone does not mind, but Mr. Jason Reeves has decided to make my day great again. Okay, Mr. Jason is a strong supporter here at the show. Actually, he was one of the people who
Jason saved me and booted me. He spent $200 to boot me, and then he matched Alex. They each spent $100 to save me and bring me back, and he sent me $100 himself, which was nice.
Came through, and it helped make me feel confident that the show was going to continue on, and I wasn't going to have to go back to getting a job like I was doing like 2 months prior to all this shit. But Mr. Jason has sent $500, and he says, pay for Christmas dinner and a dinner out with Mama Tomato and the kids.
Damn.
All of you should be lighting up the chat with a shit ton of tomatoes. I want to see absolutely nothing else. That was incredibly kind and thoughtful. He's trying to make me cry, but I'm holding it back, really, because he prepped me for this in chat. You shouldn't have prepped me in chat. Because I had to like go stoic, okay? But holy crap, Mama Tomato is coming out for Christmas to visit, and we're gonna have a really grand old time, and it's going to be compliments of Mr. Jason. So thank you so kindly. If it weren't for you, I'm telling you, I would be applying to jobs right now, worried about everything.
I've not seen that polygraph.
Tomatoes, more.
Integrity index.
More. Okay.
That sounds like an interesting thing, though.
Clay, you can now return. Mama did vote to boot you, Clay. Or I don't know who.
You want me to press him on the restraining order stuff?
Mama did vote to boot you, and Jason did finance that boot, Clay. But now that you are back,
I don't think it would get us very far
because you miraculously disappeared. You must do a yodel for us. Clay, are you taking a shit?
I think we can all just accept that if he has a restraining order on,
he's taking a shit.
They don't just throw this out for no reason. It doesn't mean doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, but it probably does. Like 99% of the time.
What better than to move into, are women in the West becoming misandric? Are they becoming misandrists? Are they misandrist in the West? Which I think speaks to your point, Dan. Because you were saying that, like, it's kind of like
Dane, right?
Women or Dan. Did I
like Great Dane?
Dan.
That's okay. I've been called all sorts of stuff that didn't even rhyme with Dane. It's
fair enough. So since you were kind of in the world of women hating on the certain areas. What about women hating men? Are women kind of trotting down that territory in the West?
Oh, I think it's definitely been a trend for at least the last century, moving more towards that direction. The whole inception of the idea of toxic masculinity, the inception of no-fault divorce, and then the veneration of the single mother. I've been in arguments many, many times. Some of the people who've been in live chats I've only been on a few panels, but they'd say something about he's pretty good for a new guy or something. They need to go over to where old people hang out on social media, right? Facebook, and read some of my Facebook posts. I've been arguing with folks for 3 decades, but so I'm not brand new to this. So even way back in the day, I've been seeing this coming. And it's the whole toxic masculinity, the rise of the single mother being some sort of a hero. And then I see it every Mother's Day that comes around, and Father's Day, what they'll say on the little Facebook post or whatever. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there and the dads doing both jobs, or vice versa. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, the moms doing both jobs. And I'm always real quick. I'm real quick because I got a woman. I'm not trying to impress them. So I'm real quick to tell them, Mom can't do both jobs. But that's the way that it's presented. It's like, dad as an option sort of a thing. So I think we've been moving there quickly. I think with the current administration, some of that tide's been kind of, I don't know, held back a little bit, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last.
Well, I frequently...
Before you respond, Tom says, had fun... I can't even fucking read the basic words. Had fun messing with y'all. Have a great night. Need to do some focused work for a couple hours. Love you, Sarah. Good reading. It's all your fault, Tom. Tom's also a very strong supporter of this channel as well. Yeah. And I hope Jax is back. Oh, wait. I don't think Jax can come back yet. But when Jax comes back, we expect to see nothing but Paul Prince all over the screen. We love you, Tom. Enjoy your work hours. All right, Ryan, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I guess just to start pushing back a little bit against what Dane was saying. I mean, like, number one, the no fault divorce thing. I mean, what quicker way to get women to not like men than to say, hey, we want to go back to when the state could force you to stay in a marriage that you wanted to get out of, right? And I mean, besides that, like when people are cheering on, single dads, single moms, for doing their best, I don't think anybody who's doing that is also saying, oh, but and it would be worse if you were also in a 2-parent relationship. I don't think anybody. I've never seen anybody argue that. I think people, realistically, everyone except for maybe some insane extremists on either end would believe that kids do better in 2-parent households. Whether that's 2 dads or 2 moms or a mother and a dad, obviously that's preferable to having 1 parent. But that doesn't mean that we should speak. We should be so hard and down on people who are doing it on their own for a wide variety of reasons. I think we can value those people and not. That doesn't mean that we're devaluing the latter, in any way.
Do you see how quickly he came to the defense of the woman?
I think I was very ungendered there, to be honest.
The interest and experiences of the man take secondary. So to respond to what you said, Ryan,
not responsive because you already completely missed what I mean. Nothing I said was particularly gendered, right?
I heard. Well, it wasn't explicitly, but I mean, fortunately, I can.
But you heard it as such. You felt like it was, right?
Can I make my point? And you won't have to talk about what you felt like it was or what I felt like it was. I can explicitly tell you what I'm thinking and what I understand you to say.
Yeah, I'm listening now.
Instead of all that spurging stuff. So you started off by saying you couldn't think of a better way to make women dislike men other than the state forcing them to stay in a marriage. Okay. Before no fault divorce, women were not forced to stay in a marriage. They chose to be married. And then if they didn't have provable grounds, they weren't granted a legal divorce. There's a difference in not being granted something versus being forced to do something. Staying in the marriage was a default result of their choices. Okay. They weren't forced to stay married. They were just allowed to remain married because they weren't issued a divorce. Now,
allowed to remain. Very interesting choice of words there.
Well, it's a very interesting choice of words that people on your side of the spectrum use this wordplay when you want to paint a certain picture that's not the case, which is women being forced, because the idea of being forced carries with it a violation of their free agency or their rights or what. But that's not the case.
Yes.
They would make a choice. They would make a choice and make a promise to stay with that husband for better or worse, rich or poor, to death do you part. But once they changed their mind for whatever reason, suddenly when the state said, no, ma'am, the state said, no, ma'am, you made a promise and you signed a legal contract to death do you part. So you need to have very serious grounds before we release you from that contract. Suddenly that woman's a victim. So when you said this thing about, well, I can't think of a way to make women hate men any quicker than forcing them to stay in a marriage, where they're unhappy or whatever it was you worded it with, that was in fact taking the defense of the woman. That's exactly what it was. Now you can play all this wordplay you want, but it just doesn't wash. Okay. Now when she took that vow, what's the purpose of that vow?
Well, before I answer that, I want to ask you one question, which is
you acknowledge.
Oh, I'm just not going to answer it then.
Vow? Why
don't
even
care.
have a legal marriage? Why even have a legal marriage?
For all the legal benefits, tax benefits, taking care of kids,
No.
all sorts of financial benefits.
No.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's for the
Property and
security.
custodial rights.
It's for the welfare of the children. For the welfare of the children. So that
Unless they don't
woman
have
has
kids.
children.
Do you normally get married before or after you have kids?
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, you
Before.
just said it's for the benefit of the kids if you don't have kids and you're married.
That's the purpose, especially before no fault divorce came in. That was the purpose of the establishment of the marriage, was to protect the rights, the legal rights of the woman and the children.
If you want to look
Because-
at what its purpose was, I mean, at one point it was.
We're
made to
talking about,
bond
yes, we
noble
do.
families
Yes,
together.
we do. When did no fault
Tried.
divorce come in? When did no fault divorce first become legal?
70s, I
The
think.
70s in California under Ronald Reagan. as
Negative.
governor.
Negative. Try again. So you don't know what you're talking about. It was 1968 under Ronald Reagan in California.
Okay,
And in
almost the 70s.
1968 and before, women having children out of wedlock, baby mamas practically didn't exist. So when we're going to compare no fault divorce before and after, we need to go back to the 1968 and that be the dividing point before the before and after. So in conclusion on that, yes, we are talking about what it was versus what it is. Right?
Well,
Wouldn't that make
yeah,
sense?
Yeah, I think Sarah, you said the initial question was about misandry, right?
I mean, we all heard him
The question
rewrite
is,
Yeah,
the,
so-
are women
the
in
phrase
West
force, right?
becoming misandric?
And,
He was
and
like,
I
yeah,
wouldn't say the West. I would
they
say
chose to be stuck
period.
there, right?
Women are becoming that in certain places. They're doing that in South Korea, right? They're very misandric in South Korea. So it's not just the West. Just people who only live in the West think it's only Western women or something. Like it's a phenomenon that only they can do. But I think if this toxicity of some men that are
How are they
incels
becoming misandric in
exists,
South Korea?
then the same thing exists on the other side, which is women. And misandry is mostly represented through all men are cheat, all men are dangerous, etc., etc. Like these type of narratives are very corrosive, but people actually believe in them, and it's actually common in our society. So yes, it exists. It is what it is, I would say, in a lot of things that I do say. But yes, there is misandry. But I wouldn't just say it's exclusively held in the West. I would say it could be found anywhere in the world.
Effigy,
I feel like a lot of times-
4B movement in South Korea.
Like
The
in
Yeah,
the,
what
4B movement. There was a movement where girls were putting knives to their daddy's necks as a rebellion against the patriarch, and they were taking pictures while their dads were asleep with necks. And so net, there was a lot of misandry there too. But
Well,
at the
I
end of
thought
the
the
day,
But that's
not
also in a
exclusively Western
highly
women.
like traditional, like in some cases, like institutionally misogynist nation still, right?
Well, also, I thought
What-
the 4B
what, like North
movement
Korea?
was specific to South Korea and how South,
South
Korean
Korea.
men, not all men, were treating them. Like it was very
Lot's
specific.
daughters got him drunk.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
church.
It's
Switched
like
the
super
4B
traditional.
over to America too, but it
can't-
didn't
you can't.
work.
You can't
Yeah, I think this speaks to the broader, like when we talk about misandry, oftentimes I feel like people are pointing to like what they perceive to be the feminist movement, right? As like the feminists are the ones who are man hating, right? That's how a lot of people perceive it, especially in the red pill spheres, but outside of that as well. And I think a lot of times, like what these women are pushing back on is real problems they have with men. Again, I acknowledge that people in the MRA space, they are describing real problems they have with women. But I mean, let's be real, men and women are very different, and we have different problems with each other in a lot of ways. And I think we got to acknowledge that. Like, it's way less likely for a man to be essayed by a woman, although it does happen, and we shouldn't downplay that, obviously. But like, it's way less common. It's way less common for a man to be murdered by a woman, but women are very often murdered by their partners, by their family members, by men in their lives. And like, we have to acknowledge these things, and especially when we're talking about in the context of whether or not, people who are advocating for patriarchy, where men have primary control over all these different levers in society. Like, these women are it's self-defense, right? Men are defending themselves emotionally, I would say, and women are kind of defending themselves physically.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about this too? It's actually just man hate, bro. And it's not all this based on patriarchal systems. Let me show you something.
I retract everything I said then. My bad.
Documentary. Well, let me finish, Ryan. Just let you finish. Anyways, I finished watching the documentary in the Scandinavian countries, where they say everything is egalitarian and it's, and it was so funny because the women were actually indoctrinating the little boys to sit down hold hands, and stare in each other's eyes and say they have a beautiful soul. And then what they were teaching the girls was, in the other room, is to jump on monkey bars and say, I rule the world, I can conquer, I'm strong. So it was extremely funny that they were indoctrinating the boys to be very passive, be very accepting, and they were indoctrinating the girls to be conquerors right in the other room. And this was going on in a Scandinavian country where it's supposed to be humans are human and they will seek power. It doesn't matter if they're a girl or a woman. And so at the end of the day, for some reason that's suspended. The patriarch is bad. And yes, you're right, Ryan. People are making arguments. But I would say women have no, oh, I'm just a woman. I'm going to be gracious and nice. And they're going to conquer too, just like anybody else will. And they're conquering little boys in Scandinavia.
An example of reverse role playing is going to just define everything now.
And what you're talking about in like
the Scandinavian country is all that is.
Yeah, I know, bro, but I'm telling you, the boys really truly believe it, and they move in society like that, and the women put them in. I'm telling you, it was happening in the school, and the girl was like, and the actual principal said, we have to do this because we have to allow to indoctrinate the women to understand that they can rule over men. It was legitimately just in the documentary.
The rule of thumb within feminism and it's, I guess it's close cousin socialism, but the rule of thumb is the way to make men better is to make them more feminine, and the way to make women better is to make them more masculine. And that's the basic model in all of these systems that you see that do this, is to make women have better lives, they need to be more like men, and to make men better men, they need to be more like women. And that's what we're seeing here.
Well, I think in some sense that is true. In a sense, if we're talking about the sense of like how men were able to navigate through society historically and how women were specifically restricted from navigating society, and vice versa, right? Men are often shamed for showing their emotions, but showing your emotions, being in touch with your emotions is a benefit. It's a good thing to be able to do. Being able to be dominant, being able to dominate a conversation, be a leader, be a good leader. These are things that women can and should be able to do as well. These are good traits in humans, but we've historically hypergendered them, right? We've restricted people to being stuck in these roles, like for no real reason, except for that, like we feel that that's the way it's supposed to be. But I don't feel that way, and I think a lot of people don't feel that way.
Those are some great premises you have there, Ryan. It would be a shame for something to happen to them.
I'm not worried about that.
Why is it good or better for women to be more assertive, more stoic, and those sorts of things? And why would it be better for men or boys to be more, what you said, in touch with their feelings?
Because
can I answer?
One caveat in there, if you don't mind, Ryan. I think women early on, prior to between father and man, I think when we're out in the world without a man on our side, we do have to have those features for safety. It is built in, and we have to have it, because if not, we are compliant, we are nice, we are sweet, but we're doing all of those things with the wrong people around us, and bad things can happen. So this is why you have all of these women going around being bitches out there externally to random people who come up and say, girl, why don't you smile some more and shit like that. We have to be bitches out there now because our safety is at stake. However, if you are with men you trust, if you are with your husband, if you are with your boyfriend, your father, your brothers, and people who you do respect, and trust, then I think that bitchy stoicism, whatever, is off the table and shouldn't be there. But we have to be two-faced, I say it in that degree, for our safety out there. And you shake your head obstacles. I know that if I go out between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., my chances of bad thing happening increase to the sky and the moon and the stars. Yep. And I should be even more, I should either ensure, if I go into a bar, I make friends with all the bouncers and the male bartenders. Okay. If I run into men I do know and trust, I cling to them and hang around them for my safety. And I have to do these things because bad things already happened before. So I'm not fucking stupid to bad thing happen. So I've learned, protect, defend, be a bitch, be snarky. I don't have to be nice to anyone because I don't fucking know or trust them. I should.
That's right.
Yeah, but I would also say that women keep saying stuff like this. You're actually very protected. Actually, a man is more likely to be abused or to be hurt in society. You know what's so freaking funny too? Even amongst criminals who violate and take life of other people, they even have ideas of don't put your hands on children and women. A criminal. Now, he won't care if I get mollywopped. I have to worry about the same things too. If I'm too nice, somebody might try to take advantage of me as a man. But amongst most cultures and most places in the world, women actually move through this world unscathed. If you didn't, you wouldn't find women out here drunk at night. You wouldn't find women doing certain things like being bitchy. If you could be imagine that. Does that make sense? You being bitchy with men who can physically put you somewhere where you don't want to be?
You're safe because they're not hurting you for being bitchy. Listen to that.
And here's the difference, Obstacles. You have a better chance of defending yourself than I do.
Parker.
And it is better.
Good to see you, buddy.
What is more likely, okay, in it to happen if I'm nice? Okay, vulnerability shows.
We all heard that, right?
Statistically, you can look at that, and it shows, and you're more than likely.
How come you're able to be bitchy without getting hit? Like, holy shit!
Sweet and compliant.
You know.
Then if you buck up and go psycho, they're probably going to be like, probably not going to touch that one. Okay, look up the stats for that. Yada yada.
No, I
yada.
got
Not
you.
very
I got
common
you on that.
for
But
that
what
to
I
happen
would
to
say is
men,
Asian
Fuzzy.
women are in the
That's
same
for sure.
country you're in, and they don't find themselves. It's avoidance. If you know anything actually about defense, the number one actual technique is avoidance. It's actually not posturing up. It's disengagement. And so you don't see Asian women run around being super bitchy and putting up a guard because they're just not often engaged. They get themselves out of the situation. That's the number one defense, actually.
And their
so I
society
hear what you're
doesn't
saying.
train them that way, right?
What's that?
Their society doesn't teach them that growing up, right?
Teach them to avoid, get the heck up out of there.
Right.
Well,
Which
what if
society
someone
did
comes up behind you and slaps you on your ass? You want to just disengage from that?
Okay. And guess what? You know, there were how many
good
men
game.
in this channel would say they would support it, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you did right by doing that."
Do you know how many?
Slap my ass.
You
No,
know
I'm
how
kidding. I
many
don't know what'll happen.
times I have witnessed and been the victim of someone slapping an ass, and everyone just keeps on moving. Nobody gives a shit. Not a single man in the house does anything. That's the part where you do have to defend yourself. I wouldn't say you
shouldn't.
I am all for being around a man. I know, like, for instance, if I wanted to go to a big city, I probably am more than likely going to do my best to try to find a man to accompany me than to go by myself, because I know I'm 200,000 times safer having him with me, and I prefer that. But if I am going to go up to like my local bar or local this or local that, and I'm like by myself, or maybe I'm meeting a couple ladies or whatever, I automatically know I need to be in protect mode, and I need to not get shit-faced, not get stupid. I'm probably mother hen of the evening, and I need to be wary of who's around me. I'm not saying it's the man bad man, right? It's there are shitty people out there who will do things to harm you or to do, take advantage of you. And I'm not even saying it's just men. I'm just saying, as a woman, I'm 5'2" and 100 and a few pounds, okay? It's like, it wouldn't take much to just pick me up and throw me in the back of a van.
Right. Whereas, like, I'm a dude. I'm like 6'1.5". I'm fat and hard to
Allow me
kidnap.
to interrupt and shut all of you up. I do apologize, but my favorite color has been put on screen, which means money talks. James, first he starts to say, fuck your goals, Sarah. James is always telling me that I'm in charge, and I love it when James kindly reminds me that I'm in charge.
Before all of this,
here, and it's
Dane
so
asked
sweet,
me a
so
question,
nice.
and I wanted to answer
But
it.
he also drops a big hundo to say, mic drop, I'm out,
It
and
is
have a
goofy.
nice evening. Tomatoes in chat. If James is still watching, I'd love to see the chat light up red. Looks like you guys are already on it. I
Yeah.
love you all.
I think he hit your goal too with that last one.
Oh, yeah, that definitely finalized it. You guys are kicking ass and taking names tonight, and you remind a girl how much the capitalism rules. Ayatin says, not between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. They aren't safer. Plus, women are meaner to men to avoid misunderstandings about being available and interested. This is actually a great point. One of the things that I hear most is like guy walks up, starts talking. I'd be polite, right? There's a bunch of people here. I would think we're supposed to be polite to each other. I'm having nice conversation, and then he says, "Oh, can I get your number?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay, but thank you though. It's a sweet gesture." Then it turns into, "Why don't you want my number?" what are you too good for me now? Or like it turns into, and then it's like, well, that's even more reason for me not to give you my fucking number. But because I rejected you, even if I do it politely, obstacles, which that is my
I know, I understand it. I had women call me gay and all types of stuff, but I just don't, internalize it and turn it into other things.
At that point, once that moment is lost, I'm allowed to go bitch mode. I can reserve the right to be psycho.
I didn't say you can't go bench mode. I didn't say that. I never said that.
You're trying to defend the fact that, you should just avoidance and this and that. And
no, I said avoidance is the best tactic. I use it too as a grown-ass man. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying it's a best tactic. That's it.
Only the people.
And then if that doesn't fail to work, then of course you could use other strategies. Did I not say don't use that strategy? No, I didn't. I said the best tactic. What do you mean? I taught self-defense to thousands of women in Bangkok. I have an honorary award from the ambassador for doing it. All right. So I'm telling you something that's actually smart, not just going off what I think should be done in certain situations. I'm trying to give you some good actual advice. So, but going back to the man hate thing, which we were talking about, I find it funny when we're looking at the manosphere, we're obviously being able to point, there's some haters out here in this manosphere.
There's woman haters
out here. Now we go back and ask about women haters. Then we get, if they there's reasons why they should be able to hate men or whatever the case may be. That I find very interesting. Right?
Why
can't we just say?
Well, to be clear, to like what I was saying, right? I said there's reasons for both. I explicitly said there's reasons that men have problems with women and they seek red pill spaces, and there's reason that women have problems with men and they seek feminism. And I'm just saying that there is a different in the nature of the issues that people tend to have with men and they tend to have with women, right? And those are important. Different men and women are different. I don't know when we had to start explaining this to the right.
Well, we can see what there is, right? We know what there is.
Explaining it to the right. I'm sorry, Fatty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. But go ahead.
What's lacking in those situations, though, right? What is not there, right? What are people not doing when they're just bitching about the other fucking sex or bitching about the other person or the other?
They're not improving themselves.
They're not taking self-accountability.
Right. They're not trying to change anything about themselves
for the actions that they had in that relationship that fell apart, and they became
seeking out other people who believe the shit that they do. Right, like they're looking for people who see it the same way that they do, so that they can have verification for why they feel the way that they do, instead of trying to improve their situation at all. They're just like, hey, Tim feels the same way I do. I'm going to go hang out with Tim.
Yeah,
it's confirmation bias, but I'm interested in knowing what Ryan means. What do you mean, Ryan, when you have this? You don't know why you have to explain it to the right that men and women are different. It's the left where egalitarian and all of this trans stuff thrived. It's the right that's been saying for decades that men and women have different gifts, different designs, different abilities. We think different, we live different, we understand different. It's the left that has blown that feminist trumpet for like the last 100 years that men, they can do what men can do and they can do it better. And the only thing difference is plumbing. What was that?
I think you might just said it wrong. What were you saying, Ryan? I think you might have just said it wrong. You said it was the right, but you meant the left. Right?
Well, yeah, no, absolutely no. I was speaking to the right. I'm saying right now, the right, these men who mostly feel victimized by me saying the stuff I've been saying tonight, right? Even though I've given a lot of grace to the men in these spheres, frankly. Like the people who feel victimized by that, these are the ones who are they're like, why do you talk about how these things that women deal with, and why aren't you talking as much about the things men deal with? I'm talking about both, and I'm talking about the differences in what those things are. And as Sarah was describing, like, and as I was saying earlier, like the things women deal with from men are more likely to be a danger to their physical safety, and the things men are more likely to deal with from women are more things that are rooted in their emotional safety and potentially in some cases their financial safety, right? Like, but there's still very different kinds of things to talk about.
But what you said was you didn't know why you didn't know why you had to explain to the right that men and women are different. If it wasn't for the right, we'd still have dicks in locker rooms.
Yeah,
I mean, what the hell are you talking
So
about?
I mean, if you want to talk about like transitions and stuff, I mean, obviously you're very old, right? So you're like you probably haven't.
Not very.
You're obviously very old, so you probably haven't like really reconciled with the fact that trans people exist and that they like have human rights and stuff, and they're going to walk around. They're not really bothering you by having a dick in their pants.
That's
like
some nice obfuscation, but can you
it's just the facts, right?
How you come up with the? It's not a fact. Can you?
It is a fact. Wait, are you saying trans people are not walking around right now?
Do I get to talk?
I mean, I'd rather you didn't, but I'll allow for a moment.
Of course, you rather I didn't because you don't like truth.
But I'm allowing
laying some truth on you. Okay, are you sure I can talk like an adult? Okay, well, thanks. Your claim was that you had to keep explaining to the right that men and women are different.
Yes.
The left is what has been saying for generations. The only difference was the plumbing, and that women could do what men could do and probably do it better. And like I said, if it wasn't for the right and people like Riley Gaines, which I'm not a fan of, but I'm just giving credit where credit is due, there would still be transgenders in women's locker rooms. Why? Because it's all interchangeable and the penis doesn't matter. But you know, because there was male and then female and then non-binary, which always blew my mind because you can't be non-binary because if you're a third gender, then that means there's more than two genders. If you're non-binary, then you're conceding there are two genders, so you have to be one or the other. Well, I'm non-binary.
Really.
Well, that's at least three genders, so binary goes away. And there were all of these, them, theirs,
Wait, what does the word non mean there? What does the prefix non there?
I am not, you claim that I'm denying their existence. I'm not denying their existence. I just think they have a mental disorder. But your side of the fence was claiming that there was no difference in male, female. It was all very fluid and squishy and however you felt. So you don't have to explain to the right that there are differences in males and females because we've been holding to the existence of males and females the whole time. It's your side that's claimed that there were all these decimals and these degrees and such. So that's what I want you to explain to me. Where do you get the idea that the right is not the one who knew the differences in males and females?
Yeah, so finally, Jesus Christ. I mean, this whole thing, like you've jumped into trans issues, which I'm happy to.
You need to call somebody who knows you, man. I'm just saying, you call Jesus. I'm just guessing he don't know who you are, man. Call somebody you know, like Karl Marx or somebody.
Yeah, so Jesus Christ. Anyway, like this whole thing, I mean, you've been ranting about trans people. I'm happy to go into that. Like we can talk about trans issues and stuff.
That wasn't a rant, but go ahead.
Okay, it was. But anyway, you were talking about trans issues in your whole rant, right? And I didn't even bring up trans people. What I was talking about specifically was men who feel victimized by me talking about the different nature between men's issues and women's issues, and how women's issues are more resemble or generally have more to do with their physical safety with the imposition of men on that physical safety, and vice versa. That issue doesn't really exist as much. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it doesn't exist nearly as much. And yet a lot of people on the right feel very victimized by me saying stuff like that. And what I'm pointing out is that's a very weird thing to feel upset about. It's the same way when they talk about how, men can't get abortions, so why would we allow women to get abortions? Men don't have a say in what's happening when the baby's growing in their womb. Guy, I'm still talking. Well, you jumped to trans issues. I'm allowed to jump to another issue to make a point, right? So when I'm talking about men and women being different, and men on the right are crying about not being able to force women to carry to term against their will, right? I'm pointing, and they counter that and they argue with that by saying, oh, well, men should have, men don't get a say during that 9 months, which isn't really true, right? We all know that like women tend to talk to the men in their lives when they're pregnant. Even if they're getting an abortion, they're probably going to talk to men around them. This happens most of the time. But besides all that, like the fact that men don't have a say in that is because they are not experienced the pregnancy in that moment. They are not the one growing the child in the womb. And that's the argument. And we have to explain this to men because they're forgetting for some reason in this convenience, as a mode of convenience, rather, they're conveniently forgetting that men and women are different. That's what I was pointing to. But if you want to talk about how people have gender dysphoria or people identify as genders other than the one they were assigned at birth, we can have that conversation. If you want to talk about how feminism pushes people, or acknowledges rather, that people can do both roles in most cases, no one's arguing that like women can take over all of the hard labor jobs in the world. Obviously, men are going to be more capable of that, again, because we acknowledge, even on the left, that men and women are different. But if you want to talk about, if you want to say that we're saying, oh, women can do anything a man can do, for the most part, on a day-to-day basis, that's kind of true in reality. And to go back all the way to the question you asked me before all of this.
Stop gish galloping, man.
You did the same shit to me. You did the same shit to me. You did the same shit to me.
I
So
can
to go back to
respond
the
to
main
any
answer,
of it.
to go back to the question you asked me before all of this started, before Sarah was even talking,
All
right?
I give a damn about.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about
Yeah.
none of this other crying and whining. That's all.
That's
I care
fine. I'm
about.
not asking.
Where
I'm
do
not
you
asking.
get
I never
that
expect you to
right
give a damn about
that
anything I'm
there's a
saying.
difference
Don't
in
worry.
Male and female.
Don't worry. I never expected you to give a damn about anything I'm saying, and I don't expect you to listen to anything I'm saying after this point either.
Now that is pretty wise of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can obviously tell that you're not like really caring about the things I'm saying, right? But to go back to what I was saying way before that, and what you asked me was, why would women benefit from having leadership? And why would men benefit from emotional intelligence? Well, the answer is to navigate society, people benefit from having both of those things. Women, to your chagrin, I'm sure, to your dismay, are able to have jobs, right? Are able to be bosses, are able to work in careers that you might not like them to be in. And, that's fine. But in reality, they're allowed to do those things, and they thrive in doing those things, especially when they have leadership qualities. Men, on the other hand, when they don't demonstrate emotional intelligence, they start to have rockier and rockier relationships. You probably do have some emotional intelligence. This is probably why your relationship's actually so successful, but you might not describe it as emotional intelligence.
Stop trying to kiss up to me, man. That makes me feel a little sexually ambiguous. You start trying to kiss up to me like that.
Well, I'm just engaging with reality, right?
What I want to hear from you, you said you don't know why you have to keep telling the right that men and women are different. What I'm wanting to know is where you get the idea that the right doesn't know men and women are different when we've been the ones we've been the watchman on the wall protecting that truth from the left that men and women were not different. So I'm asking you, you're the one that said that stuff out of your mouth. I'm wondering where you get the idea that we don't know that.
Yeah, so again, I'll explain this one more time. What I was pointing to.
You haven't explained it the first time.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll do it again because you didn't follow. It's fine. I was talking fast. I understand. So what I described.
You were talking fast.
I was talking fast. I said a lot of things. I don't blame you for not following. But what I was pointing to.
I'm following just fine through your abortion trip and everything. You're just what you're saying stupid. I'm asking you to explain to me where you get the idea that the right has somehow forgotten that men and women are different when we're the ones who've been reminding y'all for about a decade.
Yeah, so again, what I was pointing to is how the right seems to conveniently forget that men and women are different in certain contexts. One of those contexts is abortion rights. One of those other contexts is when we're talking about why feminism is a very different kind of movement and why women have very different concerns than men do. That's what I was describing.
So let me still man your argument then. You think that because the right does not accept, promote, or condone, or agree with feminism, and because the right, well, not the whole right, but a lot of people on the right are against abortion, that it's because we forget that men and women are different. That's your argument.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying, right? I think there are various reasons why people take those positions. But once again, I was pointing to a phenomenon that I observe where people on the right seem to conveniently forget that men and women are different in certain contexts, in certain conversations. One of those conversations is when we're talking about abortion. Doesn't mean every abortion conversation this phenomenon is happening, right? Doesn't mean every conversation about gendered issues this is happening, but it does tend to happen in those conversations. That's what I was saying.
So because they may not agree with abortion access rights and because they may not agree with feminism, it's because they forget they're different. How does that follow?
So it seems like you're conveniently not listening to me again, right? I'm not saying because they disagree with those things, right? I'm saying the way they're disagreeing with those things tends to be by using rhetoric that implies they're forgetting these things. So it's a very different kind of claim.
They don't disagree with those things the way Ryan prefers for them to disagree. That means that they forget men and women are different. That's your argument?
We get off this merry-go-round.
I mean, I think everyone knows that's not my argument. So I don't. Maybe Dan has a hearing problem. He's kind of old, but
your argument.
I don't think you are actually. I don't think you're trying very hard.
You said men were crying, right?
He makes a half facetious comment.
Like men online are crying.
I know. We go down for an hour.
Gospel, yes.
No. Ryan said that.
Yeah.
Ryan, you said men online were crying, right?
I use the word crying to describe the whining that I hear from men who complain about the nature of the way. I'm sorry.
Be emotional though.
What?
Men are allowed to be emotional, so they're literally doing what you say men should do.
Nobody. Okay, so this is obviously an insane straw man, right? Like nobody's arguing that men should be crying 24/7. No one thinks. Wait, can I actually respond to this point? Can I respond to the point?
Allow the two of you to get back into it. Hold tight, as money is spoken. Jenna Uncluttered and her darling friend Macho are watching, and she says tomato tax paid, even if I was sent to the cheap seats yesterday. Yes, if you're over on Sleepy Tomato and you don't meet the goals, I send you to the cheap seats. And the VIP section got consequences for their poor actions, but I think they've purchased VIP for the next week or so at this point. And James, see, I told you you weren't going to bed, James. You never do. You lie, and lie. But he sends 55 and says, new goal, Sarah. Oh, I forgot. You're in charge. I'm actually going to retire this time. Maybe. I call bullshit, James. You're still in the chat, and the goal has been submitted as James's goal because he's in charge. Please feel free. Obstacles to you, sir.
Wait. But I wanted to respond to what he said, right?
Oh, my apologies. I was mixing that up.
Yeah, so he was saying, so he's arguing now that because I mentioned men crying, and I was using that as a rhetorical state, like I'm describing people being kind of whiny in a conversation. I'm not describing them actually crying. For the record, I didn't talk about people crying, but I am in favor of men being able to cry and being comfortable crying in certain contexts. I mean, I cry at the end of Elf. I've talked about this fairly frequently on this channel. I cry when they're all singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Man, it fucking gets me, and I tear up a little. It's a super happy scene, and I think men should be in touch with their intelligence. That's what I was saying. In touch with their emotional intelligence. That's what I was saying before. But now you're obviously trying to turn this on me as like a rhetorical trap, but it's not really working.
Mics are bouncing off each other, so I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, that's because I was finishing talking.
Yeah.
I get you, Ryan. But what I'm trying to also show you in that is that it's one thing to think in your head what men can do, and then it has to play out in reality. And so even if men are online complaining and they're airing out their grievances and they're actually, crying, this is the thing that people will do. They'll say, you're a crybaby, stop crying. And it's like, damn, you told me to be emotional. I'm trying to show you that if, let's say if Sarah was downtown crying, just in public, people would say, Sarah, are you okay? What's wrong? People will come up and say, is there a problem? Are you okay? If a man is crying in public, right? Not Sarah, but a man now, and he's crying, people are going to be like, yo, what the F is wrong with this guy? They're going to be scared. They're going to be.
But they won't say anything to him like that, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. They probably won't even say nothing. They'll probably call the cops.
But so somebody will walk up eventually and say, hey, bro, are you okay?
That the society as a whole is not quite prepared for them to do. Hence, in your own kind of language, when dudes are doing things like complaining online and crying, you still even have a way of saying, oh, you cry babies online, as if you just didn't say emotionalism is good.
So to be, I'll respond. Can I just real quick? Okay, I guess not.
Is there a clarity maybe for Ryan? I don't know if he means like crying, like I'm wondering, and maybe you correct me if I'm wrong.
Now our crying
I'm asking.
Not too much.
I think he's saying like
being a whiny bitch.
Being a whiny bitch, because one of the things that I hear the most, and I let me preface this by saying I love men, okay? But I've been in the manosphere for a very long time, not as long as Santa next to me, but I've heard a lot of men come into these spaces, and what we hear is just complain, and I'm wondering if Ryan means by, like, that's what they're doing, is just complain, like, women want six-pack and six figures and 6 feet tall, and this one woman just did this and this one woman did that, and I'm wondering if that's what Ryan means by that, because to me, I don't find that to be productive, right? If you're going to be productive, how we view men, from my understanding, as you guys are solutions, not more problems.
He already knew that I was saying
that's
it
how,
that
that's
way.
my thought process of men, at least.
Thank you, Sarah.
Is I view them as they are solution makers, not problem makers. Women, we like to make problems, and you like to solve them. That's usually how it works. So I'm wondering if, Ryan, do you have any clarification to that? Is that what you were insinuating?
Well, I mean, okay, so there's a couple things. Like, I was using it more as the, like, rhetorically, colloquially whining, right? But I do think, number one, Obstacles makes a compelling point about the way that men who do express emotions are treated and, like, the reality around that. I acknowledge that. But to be clear, I think we can have a whole interesting conversation about that. But what I was described, like when I talked about emotional intelligence, right? I never said men need to be more emotional. In fact, I think men are extremely emotional, and we just kind of pretend they're not, right? We just don't describe it as being emotional. Like when men get really angry, that's an emotion. They're getting very emotional. Men are like get violent when they're angry. In fact, it's an emotional response. I think men are extremely emotional, but emotional intelligence is a very different kind of thing. So those are kind of the two things that we're talking about there.
Yeah, I hear you. Right. And then also I want to add, like what Sarah was just saying, her point about women creating problems, but that's what you said, right? But I would say that everybody complains. I'm trying to humanize actually men in a large part of this conversation, because the complaining online that they're doing is no different than women saying, "Hey, all you're going to do is get a younger broad." Men, that's all they do. They're going to use you. They're going to do this and going to get a younger girl, and they're going to switch it out. So in the manosphere, what were they saying again, Sarah? 6'6". They want a guy that's 6 feet tall, 6 pack. Okay, and you say the same goddamn thing. You need to start humanizing people. They're all humans. Now, what Dane is trying to do is trying to take that group of humans and say, hey, let me give you some principles, some guidance, some stoicism. Let me show you how to cultivate that, right? But at the same time, we got another side who's saying, no, just express your emotions. Coming from the person, like Sarah said, we just create problems. We just complain and men solve them.
Let's change the parameter then.
Let's stop that happening
too. Let's change the parameter then. Let's go from men, woman to right and left. Because what I hear in society more than anything else lately is the fucking lefties are crying about this, and the fucking lefties and the fucking libs are crying about this and that.
If I could weigh in on that, Fatty, look, I don't know if I'll lose my conservative card, because the way I explain it to people is I'm so far right, I make Trump look like a progressive. But I get tired of that stuff too. And the phrase libtard, if anybody uses libtard in front of me, like in person, I'm probably going to punch them in the mouth. I'm so sick and tired of it. Oh, shut up. In front of me. Missed that part. But yeah, the libtard and the little buzzword snowflake. And like you said, the left is crying, which, all right, let's credit where credit's due. Y'all do cry a lot. But that's not an argument. That's not an argument.
A guy who's literally crying about something, bitching about somebody else crying about something.
I do. I end up sideways with my fellow people on the right when I tell them that's not an argument. Give me an argument. I had somebody on, I don't know if you're familiar with the channel, the Indian Jesus, but I ended up in an argument the other day with somebody in his chat, and we ended up on kind of on stream debating back and forth. Because my thing was, that's not an argument. Well, after he basically rage quit and didn't do his closing statement, he went over to live chat and said that I was just another crying leftist. And I'm like, I'm so far to the right. Like I said, Trump is a progressive compared to me, if you can imagine it. But this guy, because I disagreed with him, even though we're on the same side of the spectrum, because he couldn't overcome my arguments, I'm a leftist. And I
get that a lot too, Dane. I get it a lot too.
A lot of people, they use those terms, liberal, conservative, leftist, right, Republican, Democrat, they use it. They don't have any clue what it really means. Most people who say they're conservative, you ask them what it means to be conservative, they can't tell you. All they know is all of my friends are conservative. Good Christian people are conservative. I'm a nice person, so I'm conservative. They don't know what it means.
Well, I agree with that last part at least.
I'm more of a conservative than most fucking people.
Alexander?
Apparently not far lefty, so.
Is that you talking, Alexander?
Yeah. So I think one of the things earlier somebody was talking about they were teaching men how to be emotional and women how to be tough. I think part of that you can reason out to be that men don't need to be taught to be more aggressive. They actually need to be taught to control their aggression, whereas women typically need that kind of teaching because they don't naturally do it for the most part. So I don't know what that was supposed to prove, but it doesn't seem to make much of a difference either way. Clay, at some point earlier, you said that that men need to be looking to men in their lives instead of online. I think the problem is a lot of these men don't have anyone in their lives to look at. Right.
I hear what you're saying. I would actually make the argument that they do. They're just refusing to go to them.
So true, Fuzzy.
Okay.
That's not true.
There's
Sure.
teachers. There's always something that you can be looking at, though. I mean, even
Hell,
that's a
I
good-
mean, and look, here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of certain types of authority, but even a cop, right? You can find them on street corners everywhere. And when you say that, that, oh, I can't find someone, I just simply don't believe it, to be honest with you. There's literally men in governmental positions that are leading. And I don't say that with a light heart. Like that's something that I'm looking at it going, damn, how am I saying this? Of all
Can I just say really quickly,
hold on. So Clay,
we all
are you-
sound like the old people that I remember hearing in school telling us the exact same thing. You kids should find role models.
Yeah, so
Good role
Clay-
models are important.
Clay-
Always
Clay,
will be,
Just to find, are you saying that men should go out there and find like police officers and ask them to hang out with them? Is that
Not
what you're?
specifically.
Will you mentor my child?
Not
No.
specifically.
The guy in the files would have to ask. It wouldn't
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like
Not
the parent,
specifically police officers. Okay, business owners. We're talking about
right? And you
people
think
in
there's
these
business owners
positions.
today that
True
are
total
like
stranger.
looking for people to mentor?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Every job that I've ever held has always had someone in a position that was higher than me that was wanting to be a mentor. 100%.
Just some random guy off the street.
No, it's not a random guy off the street.
He's
That's
talking
what I'm
about
telling
his
you.
jobs, right?
I'm talking about literally
especially in
positions.
construction. Especially in construction, where you have to have a guy literally
that's-
teach you how to read a tape. You have to have somebody teach you like why you're doing what you're doing.
Sure, but the men who fall into this stuff aren't usually in construction.
Well, that's a good place to start. Let me
job.
be brutally honest with you. The lowliest position is definitely, when I look at that, men who lower themselves in order to raise up others. That is a very, very good quality.
Yeah. Okay. But what we're talking about, right, is men who are men who may not even recognize that they need to find more positive role models, right? They're men who are dealing with other things in their life, and their way to alleviate that is to like go online and watch men who do tell them like certain things, right?
Forget even that though. Like we can put an outreach program out there to tell men to go find a role model. That's not the problem. The problem
It's hard
is,
enough to connect with your kids as their parent.
right?
Sometimes, man. Like, come on.
The problem is
That's
who
a
are you
struggle.
gonna go to if you're a guy who works from home, who orders food and whatever to be delivered to your house, and the only time you go out is when you absolutely have to. Who are you gonna go to?
Talk to your DoorDash driver, I guess.
I mean,
Right.
I gave
Your
you
bus
some
driver, sure.
examples.
Literally,
here's a funny
as
thing.
my food just arrived.
You get a pass. You're a lady.
They've just started building Wawas down here in South Alabama, Sarah. And every time
Oh my God, the panini is the best.
I drive past
but
one,
yeah,
I'll tell my
good.
wife, because my wife and I are always together when we leave the house. I tell her, when people online talk about that place, we need to pull in and check it out, and we never have.
Oh my God,
Which place?
Wawa food is so good. Like, I would never be like, oh, let's go get some gas station food, but
Oh, my chat's
Wawa
broken.
is
Sorry,
the
guys.
best. Anyways,
Fixed.
are you guys
I'm not-
ready for your next topic?
Please.
We could still
Please.
be
Yeah.
in.
Hang on.
Also,
Wait, hang on
Okay.
a second. We can break this whole entire thing down, all these subjects, right, into one thing.
Break it down, Fatty.
Cognitive awareness. Okay, guys are not taught to be cognitively aware of our feelings. Right?
True.
Girls are given dolls at a young age. They learn interaction, right? We learn trucks and bang bang and bounce off the walls because hormones.
That's our feelings. What are you talking about, Fatty? That's our feelings.
Sure, but
What
girls,
you mean is we're not
feeling what we are.
trained to be in touch with a feminine feeling.
no, we're just not. We're not
No,
trained
Guys
to
tend to
recognize.
filter undealt with feelings into anger and things like that, into destructive things.
Right.
That's
instead of
actually
How
what
is
the
that
idea of
destructive?
toxic masculinity
How is it destructive? See, that's
Are you-
your
hold on,
feminism
Dan,
talking.
Dan, are you
No, it's
being-
not.
are you
If
being
a guy
serious or
can't
you
control his
just-
emotions and he takes it out on his wife every night and gives her
We're
a
not
black
talking
eye,
about controlling your emotions. Now,
yes,
women,
we are. That's exactly what we're
Dave,
talking
Dave,
about.
Dave,
Women-
recognizing them.
women are
Regulate.
Stop with
women
this
are
stupid
typically
woman talk every time, man.
women are
It's
you
just like
are
a woman.
women are usually most domestic abuse situations. The man and the woman, the situation has been co-abuse going on.
But that's just a blame game. That's
Sure,
obfuscation.
that's a rationalization.
Okay, you can come out with all kinds of poetry you want to, but what it is, no one ever says that. No one ever says. No one.
Such a dumb argument.
No one ever.
Hold on, pardon me, Dane. I have to remind my panelists how we operate here. I know Dane's new, so he may not understand the rules, but let's be the example that shows Dane how we operate here with no fucking interruptions. Dane, go ahead, back to you.
No one ever says when they talk about a woman being in touch with her emotions that she's going to end up abusive. No one ever says that. But you can believe when a woman loses her shit, she going to come at you. But the man, when it comes to him, indulging his emotions, they always paint him out to be some physical abuser that's going to be breaking a woman's jaw. That's because of feminism.
I'm just curious, Dane.
When I say, can I finish? Can I finish?
Yeah. I have a question for you about your restraining order after that.
I say that little boy given the G.I. Joe action figure, my generation, or the Tonka truck, or the little toy pew pew thing or whatever, and he's going around shooting, like pow 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 people, that is engaging his emotions. I'm talking about the builder, the protector, the defender. Those emotions, because he's got a natural drive to defend people. Cowboys and Indians, basically, we played when we were little. Kids nowadays, they play online. But we go outside, and play those games. Those are his emotions. What happens is that people like Ryan here and his ilk, they think being in touch with a boy, being in touch with his emotions is the feminine emotions, the crying, the empathy, the sympathy, and those sorts of things. But when he's got the little army tours out,
rage.
Why don't you let me speak for myself instead of putting words in my mouth, old man?
Why do you always
things that humans do?
Guys,
I think Ryan asked for a clarification. Did you get that clarification in yet, Ryan?
Well, number one, the emotions I'm talking about are not just crying. I am also talking about like people being able to manage their frustration and the anger they feel. But also, my chat has been dying to know. And Dane, the more you talk, the more I'm curious. Did you mention earlier you have a restraining order against you?
No. People on the left are so damn gullible. No, that was a figure of speech, man. What I said was, tell you, I'll clarify. Enough. Tell your chat to get ready. Okay, get ready. Okay, what I said was, I've been married. I've been with the same woman. I've been married 34 years this past April. I've been with the same woman 36 years. What I said was, I found a pretty woman with low standards in men, so I just didn't leave because nothing says I love you like a restraining order. It was a joke, you bunch of Yankees.
I apologize. But
damn, it ain't true. Damn.
And what would this panel be without a duck? Hello, Doc.
Nice. Waiting to see this.
Does anybody else want to add something in? If not, I can go ahead.
You guys all misheard too.
Sarah, this is not sticking with the same topic, but a minute ago you said something about the Santa Claus beside you. About a week ago, I was on No Fugazi, and I was going back and forth teasing with David Kulik, and he called me Trailer Park Santa.
Oh.
So I need to change my channel name to Trailer Park Santa. I loved it.
I kind of like it too.
Loved it.
Bad Santa. Anybody else? Final words on that piece? Yeah.
Yeah. Really quickly, the idea that like things like empathy, sympathy, or even crying are somehow feminine is part of the things we're talking about. The asinine assumptions that men can't actually engage in normal emotions. And I agree with you. A lot of shit comes from the idea to be a protector, a hunter, and all this other stuff. But when your life in this, work 9 to 5 world does not live up to those emotional expectations that your body needs, you need to have a way to actually deal with that emotional baggage without taking it out on people around you. Men do need to be taught to deal with that channel of aggression that we have for all of our untapped emotions that we just funnel right into anger. So yeah, that is something people need to deal with.
True or false, Effigy? True or false? Everybody, male, female, or other, everybody, male, female, their sense of like emotional, like gendered emotion exists on a sort of a spectrum. Would you agree?
All humans feel the same emotions.
That's not what I asked you.
Feel, but not express.
Do our emotions exist on a spectrum?
What do you mean by spectrum? You mean we call them different
like
things?
each individual emotion?
What I mean is like a number line. And let's say -10 is hyper masculine, no emotional response.
We gender emotions. Emotions are not gendered.
If you didn't, I didn't say they were gendered, but if you'll shut up a minute, I'll make my point.
Dude, you've been talking this whole time. Don't tell other people to stop talking.
And you don't want any input. You just want to hear yourself. Go ahead. Never mind.
Hilarious for you to say that, old man.
Sweet. How many people are in jail because of anger?
No, I'm not going to answer your questions because you're somebody who don't want to have anything but a one-sided.
I bet it's a lot of them, FG.
One-sided conversation. You just want to lecture and finger wag. So go ahead and lecture and finger wag.
Let's go.
Still need effigy.
I'm getting
the best metric.
They should have let Alex
like
go instead of
the most
effigy.
emotional, who is committing crimes of emotion.
I like
most. Wouldn't you say anger?
It would be
crimes
for
committed
you.
in anger are emotional
It would
crimes?
be for you. It would be for you because
It would be for
you
anybody,
want,
right?
You want
People
a
getting mad
one-sided
and murdering someone, that's a
conversation. You
crime
just
of
want a
emotion,
one-sided. Go ahead and have a conversation with yourself, effigy. When you grow up enough to have a two-sided conversation, let me know.
Just stop talking, then. Yeah, let him talk.
You, man. You were just doing the exact same thing. I'm just giving what I get.
Okay.
Wow.
Is this
So
exciting?
Why aren't jails full of women who commit emotional crimes if they are the more emotional, gender?
To make little boys ask questions. When you get ready to have a serious conversation, I'm open for that. But as long as you think you can just have a one-sided conversation, I don't have time or enough whiskey for you. But I'm dying for an actual conversation.
He tapped out.
I'm not tapped out. I'm just not dealing with children.
Did you bring
He is
whiskey
tapping
for the
out.
whole class?
No,
He's
I can
definitely
only
tapping
afford enough because I'm trailer trash Santa. I'm trailer trash Santa. And this is actually Jim Beam honey. So it's not actually man whiskey. I'm getting in touch with my feminine side.
Is it intentional or not that you're doing your best Rob Noor impersonation right now?
I don't know if he knows Rob.
Well, I actually am not even a huge fan of Rob Noor, but I will take that as a compliment. But if you have an argument
that he does,
do you have an argument?
Hold on. I'm only interrupting because it seems to stop you guys so you can actually get back to something. But you're my new best friend if you're not a fan of Rob Noor. Thank you.
Well, I'm not against Rob Noor. I'm just saying I don't watch a whole bunch of his streams because he talks so fast.
You were ahead. You should have just stopped right there.
Okay. All men like a little head, so I'll stay ahead. But no, effigy, when you're ready to actually have a back and forth, a good faith back and forth, I'm open for that.
You can either repeat the same thing you've been saying 5 times, or we can actually have a conversation.
I wanted to have a conversation. You're the one that just wants to have a one-sided monologue.
All right. Our emotions are on a spectrum, correct? Or feelings of some sort or degree.
What I was trying to ask was whether or not he agreed that everybody, male or female, their emotional experiences or whatever exist on a spectrum. And then he wanted to be bad faith and ask me what a spectrum was, as if that's not a normal English word or something.
No, I'm asking you to describe what you mean by a spectrum.
Whatever you mean by a spectrum is good with me.
No, you're the one asking the question with using that word, so describe what you mean.
But what I mean doesn't have anything to do with your understanding. I'm asking you whether you
Wait, it literally does. That's literally how communication works.
Using words randomly, then asking me to put meanings on them, and then somehow answer you in good faith.
I'm asking you according to what you believe.
Just explain what you mean by an emotional spectrum. Do you mean by like emotions have different feelings, and we call those different feelings different things? Like what the hell are you talking about?
I tried to do that, but you wanted to show your ass and talk over me like this was
a monologue. Stop with the meta.
Talk and talk. What do you mean by it? Explain it, or there's no point in talking. Like I'm genuinely trying to understand what you mean using this word.
Are you sure you're going to let me explain it this time, or you're going to start spurging again?
You're still talking about the talk and not talking.
That's right. I am, because you don't have any control over that. I'm asking for your commitment to shut your pie.
Or you don't know what you're talking about.
See there? I'm asking you for your commitment to shut your pie hole and let me answer your question.
FD should not agree to that. He should not. He should just stay bullheaded.
Commit to that.
Coward.
Whatever. So be quiet. Let me explain. If
Don't
you
do
imagine a number line and -10 is absolute stoic masculinity with no emotional expression, just mechanical beast-like behavior, and +10 being hyper feminine emotionalism, which means they cry at every little bitty thing. They see a kitten, they start crying, all that sort of stuff. Would you agree that people, male or female, fall somewhere along that spectrum between the two? And from time to time and day to day or moment to moment, one individual could move from one point on that number line to another? Or do you believe that if they're -5 or -4 or whatever, that's where they stay every moment of the day, their whole life, versus +4 or +5 on the more feminine end of the spectrum?
I would say that I think we can change how we react to our emotional states.
I didn't ask you if you thought we changed. I'm asking.
Oh my God, you literally did. You literally did, though. You literally did ask that.
No, I asked you.
No, I don't think there is a sliding scale of how people deal with emotions. I think emotions are complex things that come from many different things. I don't think there's just one sliding scale of. No, I don't think it's a one sliding scale spectrum. I just don't see it. I don't look at it like that. I mean, I think there are classifications you could put people in, but I think what you're doing is, like I said a minute ago, you're gendering emotions when emotions are not inherently gendered.
I'm not here to talk about whether or not emotions are inherently gendered. So let me ask you
this is all you're talking about.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Allow me to translate. I see what's happening. He's not putting a gender on it. He's putting a type. So, femininity versus masculinity. Why is my screen blinking? That's really weird. I'm like getting.
Yeah, are you trying to say like being angry equals more masculine? Being angry?
No.
No, he said stoicism versus like highly emotional. So no emotion, high emotion.
Stoicism isn't not having emotions.
Well, stoicism, I guess that would be a lack of emotion. Let me give you an anecdote, a story, maybe to help you understand.
Men are highly emotional. They're highly angry.
Maybe this will help you understand. Okay? A few years ago, it was 20 degrees here in my backyard. And I had a water pipe underground in my backyard break. So I'm out there, me and two of my sons. I'm out there. It had rained that day. It was 20 degrees.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
digging
bad,
a hole
Lefty.
to get down to the water pipe. And then I'm laying down on my stomach, reaching down in this hole, trying to repair this PVC water line going to my house. I didn't want to do any of that. It was freezing cold. I couldn't feel my fingers. I'm laying in water on the ground.
Christine, I literally just sent you $1 million.
In order to be able to do that, I got to shut down a certain amount of my emotions to do that, to take care of my children. But now when I get finished and I get up and I get in the house and my wife says something, or she has, I don't know, whatever, some sort of a need for sympathy or something that would be more on that feminine side of the scale, I can slide towards that direction of the feminine end of the scale. That's the spectrum I'm talking about. Do you believe that spectrum in each individual exists?
I believe that males and females experience emotions slightly differently, yes, due to their biology, yes. The emotions don't dictate it, our biology dictates how we are susceptible to certain emotions.
So you don't or you do? It's a simple question.
Wait,
do
what?
You or don't you believe that emotions exist on a spectrum for people?
No, whatever you're saying, I'm just going to say no at this point. I genuinely tried to answer in good faith. I genuinely did. I wasn't trying to be obtuse or anything.
Maybe gradient might be a better word than spectrum. I think it's more 2D.
I think everybody's got
there's like 1,000 people grateful for Purdue Pharmaceutical right now.
Stop. Alexander, I do believe you were trying to say something earlier. Did you want to chime in?
I'm dealing with something right now, so.
Okay, take your time. I'm going to mute you for now since you're walking.
An emotional spectrum chart is what we use for a self-check-in in the PEMS self-awareness system, right? So it's really easy. It's a cognitive awareness check-in. I'll start, okay? Right now, think of 3 feelings, okay? And physically say out loud 3 feelings of how you're feeling right now. I'll start, okay?
This is starting to sound gay.
Gay, correct.
I like
gay.
it.
Because when men check
that resistance came at the right time,
gay, right?
we don't support auto-diagnosis.
I think it's honestly a good thing that Fatty's demonstrating here, and I think we should give it a shot.
You would.
It's auto-diagnosis. No,
I don't.
Could I, if I may, look? Here's the spectrum. And,
Go ahead. Yeah.
and I know I've put this out there many
Put
times.
me on full,
So
full
two
screen,
sides.
bro. I got the spectrum right behind
Hold
me.
on. There's. It's a very simple analogy. It's like a clock. Okay. On one side of the clock, you've got sadness. On the other side, you've got anger.
Not a
Okay.
pyramid.
No, it's not a pyramid. Look at it as a clock, okay? On the top of that is joy, okay? You want joy, you want happiness, you want contentment. That's at the top. At the very bottom, no emotion. That is stoicism. On either side, one is sadness, the other is anger. You don't get much more than that. You don't get much more than that, okay? Now, if you
Other
go
than the
to
500.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Right?
You guys are right back to this. I asked at the very beginning of the talk whether he was talking about delineation of emotion.
Instead of talking over me. Jesus.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let him talk. It's Clay.
So when it comes to
Clay,
anger,
guys.
right? Anger sits on one side, and you've got
I love
frustration, then it
Doug
goes
so
to anger,
much.
then it goes to envy, then it goes to vengeance. And at the bottom of that is stoicism. Eventually you reach no emotion. On the other side is sadness and depression and everything that goes with sadness.
Hold on.
If you have any other emotions, please tell me what those emotions are, because I only know about the ones in the category of anger and the ones in the category
apathy,
of
pride,
sadness.
courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance.
No, those are
reason,
virtues.
love,
Those are
joy,
virtues. Those are
peace.
virtues. Those are not emotions.
Dude,
I don't agree. I think they are emotions.
They're not.
Speaking of
Those are
emotions,
how about the
question.
500 on this chart right
we're
here?
gonna do a round panel and have some fun so that we can reset the panel.
Thank you.
And we're gonna answer one at a time, so everybody else shut the fuck up when somebody's talking.
That means
All right.
you, Ryan.
That means you too.
It also means you, fat man.
All right, hypothetical.
I actually can I apologize for that? I was getting emotional and angry,
Or you
and
could just shut the
I
fuck
demonstrated it with a fat phobic comment. What I should have called you was old man, but I got the better of myself, and I apologize. It was inappropriate.
I thought that was an expression of affection. You damn leftists don't know how to love
It was not.
Hey, leftist isn't a leftist isn't anything.
Well, you
just so
guys
you
just
know.
don't know how to
just so
shut
you know.
the fuck up and let
Leftist doesn't exist.
Hypothetical.
thing, man.
Keep telling them, Clay.
Hypothetical, okay?
Ryan can call himself a
shut the
leftist
fuck
if he ever
up!
wants to.
I'll wait.
That's why we have Clay.
Are we all done? Okay. Here's the hypothetical, and we're gonna round robin this, just one person at a time. Okay. Hypothetical. If you were still single, what would be the biggest red flag for someone you meet on a first date to make you not want to see them again? Ant, to you, sir.
Coming up to me very familiar, even though we've never met, and just an abundance of love bombing, etc. Like that tells me they want something from me because they don't know me and they shouldn't be talking to me like that.
Interesting. Effigy.
For me, I'm allergic to like hyper materialist people. So people talking about things. Look at my bag. Look at the thing that's the most expensive on the menu. Let's just get that because it is the most expensive thing. People who have like this obvious like materialistic personality that just makes me want to run away and hide.
All right. Fair. Mr. Dane, 36 years ago. What would be your biggest red flag?
That would have been the summer of '89. I was 18 years old.
I was too.
Fast cars and fast women.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks, closer to God, man.
biggest-
Man.
If I were single, like if Deidre, my wife, were to come out from underneath the anesthesia and leave me, and I was back in the dating market, my biggest red flag would probably be like a career single mother, a career-oriented single mother.
Shots fired.
No offense, Sarah, but I'm just saying.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm career oriented though. That was never like.
When I say career, I don't mean that she had her own job. Deej, my
you
wife,
mean like she's a single
Sarah's
mom on purpose.
Definitely
like
career
to-
oriented.
yeah, my wife just retired a year ago from the Chevron refinery. She was a refinery mechanic. So my wife is a pipe fitter, welder, boiler maker, all of that sort of stuff. See, she just walked in my office. See, right there, say hello, baby.
Hi, mama.
See, that's her. Okay, so she worked in an almost exclusively male industry, in heavy industry. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, it paid very well, so I definitely have a problem with that because I'm a high maintenance husband. But what I'm talking about is the woman that she's married to her career. She identifies with her career. That's where she gets her value. And then she's a single mother and got no desire to become a part of that. That's what I'm saying. Not just that she has a successful job life.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, damn.
Well, I mean, you left your job basically to take care of your baby, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Essentially, yeah. Like,
I'm talking about the career woman who would work overtime just to hire nurses and caregivers to take care of their child who might have needs.
I see what you're saying.
I'm talking about her career is number one.
No, I was always like, even with my daughter, like, I worked all of the days and she was with her dad on days I worked, and I would do like 24-hour shifts sometimes, just so on my days home, I was home.
Right.
Even with my son, I was married at that time, and he made me a stay-at-home mom, and I did that until he started.
This is
pre-K.
torture.
So
I'm being tortured right now.
Or something like that. And then I even only started part-time back to work just for. I didn't have to. It was just for.
Yeah. When I say career woman, I mean a woman who identifies her self-worth and everything, her person, with her career.
I feel for him.
And that's a lot of times. That's almost always nurses. But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Alexander, if you're
Bro's
back,
had bad
if not,
experiences
just stay on
with
mute,
nurses,
handle what
it
you're
sounds
handling,
like.
and I'll move on. I'll give you 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Okay, he's handling something. Uncle Fatty, to you, sir. What would be your red flag?
Today's day and age.
It's exhausting, Christine.
If she wears
I
a red
cringe a
hat,
lot.
she's definitely not getting in my bed.
MAGA hat.
I actually bought one of those red hats that Candace Owens sold after the election that said "Make Kamala Indian Again." I thought it was great. And I gave one to my barber who happens to be black. He loved it.
Oh my God. Damn.
Kia doesn't roll off the tongue like MAGA, though.
Fair enough. Ryan, to you, sir.
Well, I mean, to Fatty's point, yeah. I mean, these in the modern day, like being like attached to the Republican Party is a red flag. So like very conservative or people who perceive themselves to be very conservative in contemporary politics, definitely not going to work out between us. You know, it might be fun to spar for a little bit, but there's going to be a lot of toxicity emerging from that, I'm sure. So I think that would be a bad thing. But more importantly, like I think like someone who doesn't like find humor in things or have empathy for others, like thinks really lowly of a lot of different people for various different reasons, and doesn't like seem to build themselves and people around them up. I look for like people who have good friendships and people who are like to some degree career oriented, who find value not just in their jobs, of course, but that is part of it, right? And I think those are good things. And I like a well-rounded person who's, I feel like I found one of those, so I'm in a good spot.
Oh, I'm so happy
Long
for
walks on the
Ryan.
beach.
But I know I'll never have to worry about Ryan hitting on me. I'm like, literally everything he said was a red flag. Doc, to you, sir.
Yeah, so I will answer in an unorthodox way. The best date of my life ever. I was attracted to the person. I didn't feel like we had values that were competing with each other. I didn't even have to think about that much. And it didn't feel like there was a lot of pressure to go forward and backwards. So my red flags would be someone that pressures me at a rate either I'm not comfortable with, or that, if I'm feeling like we're moving at a pace that we don't understand and we can't talk about it, that would make me turned off. Or if I feel like I'm already competing with values, if I can't just have like a normal conversation with the person, that would also be upsetting to me. And the final thing is like, I think it's good to be physically attracted to the person, right? I don't know. I that's like one of the things that I personally like I only know my own experience about feeling attracted to someone. Like I trust when other people say like, oh, Pam Bondi is like so hot, or the stuff people say on the internet. I get it, I do, but I like if I don't feel the same way, then I can't say that back about that personally.
Ugly people get married too, bro.
This is true. Mr. Obstacles, to you, sir.
A red flag? I was trying to decide what, because I only had really two big things for myself. But the main one would be desire. If she doesn't desire me, then no. And then followed by that, it would be like princess treatment, daddy little girl. I'm good on that one. But first one would be desire. If it's only one.
High maintenance.
Do you have a channel, Obstacles?
Nah, I did. I kind of got off the internet. But I do have Financial Frontier USA. I might come back. But it's mostly about economics. I don't talk about relationships.
No, I don't need any of that. I'm Scotch Irish. We don't fool with money. We just buy whiskey and we just die broke.
Hey, whiskey is a good investment, man. You got it hold up for a while. People love whiskey, man.
Until you get too old,
What about
man.
the whiskey honey? That's the cheap stuff right there. You're in touch with your feminine side today for sure.
Whiskey, flavored whiskey is good. Cherry whiskey. I like the cherry and I think it's just cherry whiskey that they have too. It's really good.
Man, I didn't hardly
whiskey flavored whiskey.
I grew up. I was raised by a single mother, and she was a hairdresser and a bartender. Two huge red flags: a hairdresser and a bartender. But that was my mama, and so alcohol in my family growing up was never a forbidden fruit. So I never was attracted to it. I don't really like the taste of alcohol. Raised all my kids. They probably only seen me intoxicated in their growing up years once or twice. That would be like a holiday. But a few years ago, I discovered the flavor infused alcohol. Oh man.
Alcohol.
Oh Lord. I used to
Looks
be,
like Alex
I
is
used to
back.
be-
We want to hear his
I'm
answer
s-
to the red
I'm,
flag
I'm
question.
waiting. I was waiting for them to settle themselves. Mr.
I'm,
Clay. Mr. Clay, what is your red flag? Sir?
Oh, there's another one.
Mm-hmm.
My red flags. Weird stains and weird smells. But no, in all seriousness, no. Money watching and odd hairlines. Very, very odd hairlines on full screen. I'll let you know.
No.
Fair
Odd
enough.
stains and odd smells. I thought you were talking about Pearl's dog for a minute, Clay.
Oh my god, that dog
yeah,
smelling its
seriously, if
own spot that night was.
That's a good point,
I'm
Dan.
like, I'm
Especially with
still
that weird ass
dying.
comment about
I'm really-
Kamala.
All right.
If you
We
picked
have
it out,
gotten-
the
They love when
pictures
black
is a
women berate
big
other
turn.
black women
Money
for them,
All right.
don't they?
Horrible.
Do we?
Now,
What's that, obstacles?
I was gonna say, ask Clay the real question. What's his red flag in the men he date? Ask him the real.
Money watching. Money watching. Doesn't matter. Money watching. It's always a red flag. Doesn't matter where I go.
Women who laugh that hard at gay
Fine.
jokes.
All right.
I think, or that
We
sort of
can
gay joke
do
anyway. This is another red flag.
Panel roasting. We can do. I've got some AI, nuclear power, like energy stuff, and nuclear power, renewable energy, space race. I've got more politics. Trump, Biden, President, Department of Education. I've got international bankers, billionaires. Why don't billionaires just ... I've got social media. What are we feeling? Duck, what are you feeling, honey?
You were talking about you said the top of the sex pyramid was one of the conversations.
That wasn't a thing I said at all.
Oh, is it space race? It was
Hear what you
space
want to
race.
hear.
That was a
Space
Freudian
race.
Duck
slip.
is so funny, dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
No.
awkward. Awkward.
I mean, I'd talk about. You guys know me. I would talk about space if you guys want to talk about space. I would talk about space.
You know, every SpaceX
like
rocket
Duck always
being
wants to
launched-
talk about space.
Duck. Well, considering Duck gets booted off the panels a lot too, we're gonna let Duck have a little win here. Okay. Would a space race be depressing without a national Congress or Parliament?
Huh?
Now,
What?
Yeah,
Can you
wait.
what?
Without legislation. Without
That's a whole
policy?
bunch of big words. I'm from Alabama.
I didn't hear
Would
it.
a space race be depressing without.
I can explain this a little bit. So like Donald Trump just says,
hear it.
Donald Trump just says, "Hey, we're gonna do this one
what was
mission
it?
thing." This is my guy,
What's the
right?
prompt? I
That's
can't hear.
Hold on, Doc. He wants to hear it again. Would a space race be depressing without a national Congress or parliament?
It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Yeah, it feels like a nonsensical question.
That's like saying, would a space
I think
race
saying
be
like the-
depressing without potatoes?
Depressing what?
What's that mean? What's that mean?
well, I mean, how does I guess the question is all of the globally, all of the nations have compete, right? It's a space race, right? So our Congress is battling. We had the Russia, China, America, like all battling to get to space.
That's
and
what I
yada,
wanted
yada,
to
yada.
talk about, Sarah.
So I think the question is, if we didn't have all of these politicians so fucking worried about the shit, would the space race actually be fun?
I mean, we won. We don't know what this is a race about. We won. We're the only country that's a spacecraft that's left the solar system.
I think we could have a really fun space race if I think one of the things we would need to do is stop having insanely corrupt fascists in office who want to take everything for themselves. They're like we have people.
We've never had a fascist in office.
You want to talk about a space race without politics? I mean, that's the issue. Like this is what's holding us back from the space race, right?
It's $8 million a day.
All right, let's focus on the happy part. Hold on.
$8 million a day.
Hold on. Stop.
In subsidies.
You're missing the whole fucking point. If we didn't have all the politics stupidity in our way, just like this whole fucking conversation, would a space race actually be fun? You literally proved the point, Ryan.
Hell yeah.
I know. I'm just pointing to where the blame is. I agree. Yeah, it could be fun if it wasn't for all these people trying to fucking destroy our government. It'd be awesome.
So then how? How would it be fun?
Stop defunding NASA, dumbass. That would be a start.
Avoid a politics.
Stupid.
I think it would be. I get what you're saying.
Losing viewers so hard right now.
I think it would be. I think it would be great, yeah, if the government just pulled out and left it as like a corporate war between like Musk and Bezos and whoever these billionaires are to develop their rockets, develop their moon stations or whatever. That'd be fun to watch. It would be like the sci-fi shows and movies from the 80s and 70s and 80s. I think that'd be fun.
Back when NASA was doing all of the advancements, yeah, which they still are, yeah.
There's no way to
you don't know how to keep the politics out. Literally, the question is.
Well, fucking cry! I don't give a shit. I'm going to talk about the real world just because you don't want to. Sorry, bitch.
Look, I don't want to fight with you, Ryan. Apparently, I lose every time.
Clearly.
Let's make the hypothetical. Doc, the imaginary. Doc, I want you to express to us, give us the landscape for what it looks like if there was a space race without politics and the fun pieces behind it and what it would look like for the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the main thing is that when we look at something like NASA, even NASA, which is purely, most people think NASA is about as close as you get to an exploratory or scientific organization. Outside of an organization like CERN, who built the particle accelerator. But yeah, when you think of the coding languages that they use, when you think of the way they communicate, when you think about the way they recruit, the way they work with universities, all of these things end up sort of having this outer shell where you ask, well, why does it work? Right? Like why did we use this type of code or this type of thing? Eventually you hit this layer where someone might say, well, it's because we're competing with each other. It's because even like a psychopath like Jimmy Carter was president, he's not Ralph Nader, he's not part of the Green Party, so you're always competing. And so a future Star Trek organization would say, well, we're allowed to design and build things because it is the best way to pursue the set of goals that we've decided we're going to do for each other. And once we have that worked out, then we can work hard and vigorously together in order to go after that. And there's not a goddamn fucking thing on this earth that's going to stop that.
Doc missed the point too. Okay.
Can I throw something out?
Maybe he's just engaging with it on a different level than you are. That doesn't mean he missed the point, right?
I remember. Yeah, but sometimes you can like think about stuff too much, and you make it so academic and intellectual that it's freaking boring. Okay.
I thought it was
this is the
Take me back to Jules Verne, like
right.
80
See,
days
remember
around the world.
Yeah, go ahead. Remember a few years ago when Musk, love him or hate him, he launched a rocket. He launched a rocket that had a Tesla on it with a camera, and they had like a little, I don't know, mannequin dude in the camera, and a lot of people, regardless of their political persuasion, were glued to their internet or their television, watching this rocket go into space with the camera of the Tesla and the Tesla man in there, and they were glued to their TVs and they were watching it, and it was some level of fun. But it didn't involve the Congress, NASA, the military, any of that sort of stuff. That's what the prompt is about.
If I did though, because he's completely funded by them. Okay, most of his money is in American government subsidies. Okay,
yep.
He's not funded by.
There was nothing political.
But you can't talk about that, Fatty. You're ruining the fun for everybody.
There was no political statement being made, right or left.
Shit down or something, Ryan. That shit's annoying.
No, bitch.
I think that the three of y'all. I think the three of y'all. I think the three of y'all need to develop some emotional intelligence so you can understand what the prompt's about.
So
you just
think of it this way:
in your statement,
back
before about it,
back before politicians involved themselves in everything, and the government regulated everything, you would have like the world's biggest fair, right? And it would be like bring everything you can, have the fastest car or the highest Ferris wheel
like
or whatever. Right, so it would actually be like you have something you can compete with, or racing and all this stuff outside of
like
all this
Sputnik.
regulated bullshit, right? So it would just be the idea of take out all of the depressing shit of the politicians and blah, 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 and just get to the idea of a space race. What would it fucking look like without all of that bullshit, and how fun it would be? Obstacles, please help me.
Just make sure you don't mention anything that's actually impeding that fun.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan.
Ryan, we got you, bro.
Don't worry, I'll say it again.
All, shout out. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that was my offer for working at SpaceX just like maybe 6 months ago. So actually, as much as people have the issues in the broader society, I'll tell you what it looks like because I've been to SpaceX. It's amazing. People are extremely excited about what they're doing. They're excited about the frontier. Actually, if you go down to, where Starbase is now, there's people who come from all over America. They take their trailer and they drive all the way down there in the RV, and they're so enthralled about going to the new frontier. They're excited to see a 12-story building fly 12 times faster than the speed of bullet all the way up into the stratosphere. So it's nothing but excitement. As far as the broader society and what everybody else thinks, that's something that's always just been different. And like we said, when we had the space race before, there was more people involved with it because it was dope. It was new technology, right? Most people didn't even have a goddamn laptop back then. So it was something new. But now I would say that it's still there. It's just a smaller portion of society who actually cares about it to that extent, right? So I would say it looks wonderful. The people are excited about it and thrilled. The employees, the engineers, everybody loves it. And
it affected.
I agree with a lot of what Obstacles is saying. I'm not making it. Okay, listen. I agree with a lot of what Obstacles just said. However, I think it's also true of NASA. Just saying that same thing is also very true of NASA.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool with NASA.
Space race,
they always had
prompt.
The previous space.
Would a space race be depressing without a national Congress or Parliament? It's assuming already that the space race is currently depressing with those things involved. I'm fucking done. Texas Bully says Biden left 2 astronauts in space and Musk had to save them.
I mean, this is just not true. Can I respond to that real quick? Even the astronauts themselves have acknowledged this is a lie. Musk lied about it. They were always supposed to come back on that timeline. Musk is a liar who lies all the time and takes your taxpayer money, makes it harder for us to have a fast space. Fuck Elon Musk, that piece of shit.
No,
actually,
they
it's
were
cheaper.
supposed to come
a rocket
down on the
is
Boeing
massively
Starliner.
cheaper with SpaceX. That's ludicrous. It's actually
Yeah, Elon Musk is one of the
thanks to NASA.
Wait.
No. Thanks to the employees at SpaceX who created the technology.
No, absolutely not.
That's not what happened.
Okay, the engineers didn't do it. What?
They didn't. No, this is bullshit.
So if I can answer that really quick.
Go ahead.
Does
Musk
anyone
said-
know? Does
said
anyone
he's
know?
going to make billions of dollars on the space race. He more than anyone is putting politics in space. This is a guy that promised he would live and breathe to help people with his companies, and he has not done that.
You don't like Musk. We got it. Does anyone know who? Does anyone know who founded? Does anyone know who founded New York City?
My mom.
The Dutch.
New York Smith.
The Dutch. It was founded in New Amsterdam in the colony of New York. But specifically, what was the entity that founded the colony of New York? What became New York? It was the Dutch East India Company. It was a corporation. It was not the Dutch crown. It was a corporation who went over there and basically set up a store to do trade with the Native Americans. And they would bring anyone in, no matter race, nationality, religion, anything, as long as they would come in and do business, which is why their colony essentially failed, is there was no unifying religious or national cause to go found that colony. See,
So were they?
Excuse me, I'm almost finished. Can I make my point? So the British one day sailed into New York Harbor and took it without firing a shot. New York City today is a financial powerhouse because of its Dutch heritage. It's so ethnically diverse because of its Dutch heritage, but it started from a corporation. So you leftists can whine and cry and clutch your pearls over him being a corporatist and involving politics and his corporation and everything. But we have New York because of it. So SpaceX with his rockets and everything would be much more entertaining and probably much more successful and financially efficient being run by a corporation versus a tax subsidized organization that has basically an unlimited budget.
I just want to point out that everything Dane just said was political. Everything you just said was political, but we get shit on for talking about politics, right?
Is also pointless and had nothing to do with anything.
I'm responding to you people. I'm responding to you people.
No,
Alright,
you're
guys all
responding to a
interrupt.
caricature.
I'm going to read money. Texas Bully Mom also says
shut up,
space
everyone.
Space race would be freaking awesome. I think it would be fun. I'm thinking of like Jules Verne, like 80 Days Around the World, or I'm thinking old school, like battle of the people without all of these regulations and whatever. It's more of a competition, like an actual race, not like we're going to get there first, but in the midst of that, we're also going to spy on you and fuck your shit up, and we're going to regulate this and do that and do Pumping Weevil says Biden probably forgets to wipe his ass. This is probably true.
And Trump probably shits himself
in fucking cabinet meetings.
Oh my God, these people! Listen. I want to respond to the prompt because I haven't had the opportunity to. Yes, this would be amazing if we could do a space race. Hello, FG, how you doing? If we could do a space race, because
everyone enjoy. Are you guys enjoying it? Is anybody sad? You're not. I actually kind of like Clay, so I kind of feel bad about what I'm doing right now. But man, do I not care about what he's saying, to be honest. I just don't give a fuck, dude. I really don't care. It was so political. It's all political. Everything she says is also political. It's so fucking annoying. Like, if only we could just do all these political moves. If only we could have all these political things that we want, all these political implications. I just want all these political things. Please don't talk about politics, though. Like, fucking Christ. It's crazy. All right, let's let him back.
In fact, you look at the explorers of the old days, right? You know, like that Sarah brought up Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days. That was something we'd never done before, right? The Americas were discovered because people believed the earth was flat and you'd just fall off the end of it. People literally today believe that the earth is flat. If you could put men on Mars, that would disprove it.
It's just we put
men on the moon.
That's not true. That's an elementary understanding of history. America was not discovered because people thought the world was flat. Columbus was trying to find a route to India for the spices that didn't include the Muslims in the Ottoman Empire. It wasn't anything about the world being flat.
People believed the world was flat.
No, go research history. Go research history. You'll find out that even the Egyptians, you go back to the Egyptians, they knew the world was round. That's a myth, man.
The two worst people on the panel are fighting. We don't have to listen to it. We don't have to do it. We don't have to torture ourselves with that, right? We can just talk to each other. How are you guys doing, huh? How is my wonderful chat doing? We got Fuzzy B. We love Fuzzy B. We got Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you, Christine, for being here. We got Callie Dime. We got Infallible Foul. We got Polygraph Lie Detector. We got Chabot. How the hell are you all? It is so good to have you all here. I'm so glad that we have a mute button. No, I want to hear the dumb guy winning. The worst part is Dane is right for once. I don't even know what they're arguing about. I just don't even want to know, to be honest. Better than Dane. Callie Dime says, and he never set foot in America. Why the hell are we talking about Christopher Columbus? That's a good point and a good question. Nightbot comes in to remind everyone to like the stream. Please like the stream if you haven't liked the stream yet. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new here. Get yourself a membership. Gift a membership if you can. We love that. We love gifting memberships. Can I just, you guys, Chabot's content, feeling the holiday spirit. I love that. So is my boy. Look at him in his cute sweater. I'm so sorry. I don't think Jelly hasn't been here since we got Umbreon's sweater, but he's got his good sweater. He's such a good boy. I have to cut a little slit in the back for his harness, but everything else is just glorious. That's why I'm in love with the mute button. It's a great button. It really is. It really is a great button. Isn't it peaceful? I feel like I need to remove myself from these panels earlier on. I mean, I know I got, like, there was a bunch of money spent to bring me back, and that was nice. But, like, man, I feel like I've overstayed. But we never got into the roast thing, and I think that's what, I think the roast is supposed to be. Like, I think I'm part of that. I think I'm going to get roasted. But I feel like we've had that happen a little bit. Where they all, like the topic, is Ryan hate justified a few weeks ago? Which just kind of, it wasn't even like a roast. Everyone just kind of sang me praises, to be honest, which was not that surprising in the grand scheme of things, but a little bit unexpected in the moment. Let's see how they're doing.
But beneath Clay's name it says buy a cuckable mug, and then beneath Dane's name it says Big Daddy. And I just want to point out how funny that is inside my head thinking about it. I love it. Just saying. And I do have Antifa Commander hanging out backstage. If you want him up here, you know what to do. He's been in and out back there for a while. All right. Are we ready for another topic, gentlemen? Or
so ready.
Can I please answer the topic?
Sure, go ahead.
Just once. I'll make it quick. The idea is to the prompt is that the space race without actual like government money would be boring because there would be no money to go around for it. The space race, it's long-term shit. The technology doesn't provide, and except for like way later, it provides a shitload of stuff later down the road. But right at the jump, it doesn't provide you with anything except a means to get somewhere. Now, there will be a point where getting shit in space will become so lucrative that private companies won't need help. But at this point, Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed, SpaceX, they all get government cash. The original space program was basically a covert way to make better rockets to put into ICBMs. So like there's always going to be like an ulterior motive or interest that puts that extra bit of money into it. So I don't think it's possible without politics. It would be really boring.
Also, I'd like to say something about that roadster that was shot into space. Like, before you think this is all some happy, feel-good thing, this was Musk giving the middle finger to Martin Eberhard, who was promised the first Tesla Roadster to come off the line. And that was what was shot into space, was that first Roadster. And
that's amazing. I love it. Yeah. That makes me like Elon even more when he tells some guy who thinks that he is entitled to something when he says, suck it, bitch.
Oh, that's you mean amazing. The founder of the company that produced the car. And
whatever. Musk won, and he looked at the loser and said, fall in a hole. I think that's great.
This spring, too.
That's what these petty bitches are all about, you know.
And then the ladies show up and say, boys, be nice, don't hurt their feelings. But we didn't build civilization by not hurting their feelings. We built civilization by telling the weaker, fall in a hole.
And we're men when we
Hey,
honor our
also, I do
agreements,
want
right?
to add, though, which is interesting. SpaceX did start off with a lot of government subsidies, just contracts they're called, not subsidies, but contracts. But anyways, they got the contracts. Now, majority of their business comes from Starlink. So it's a commercial enterprise, and it's just internet globally, basically. So that's the majority of their revenue. And actually, government contracts only represent around 20% of revenue, and 80 is in Starlink. But shout out to
Here's where
everybody
you get that,
anyways.
since SpaceX is a private company and their books are black books.
Because I'm an
black
investor.
box.
Actually, you can invest into it if you're an
You can
accredited
invest into
investor
it. That
in the
does
United
not
States
tell
of
you their
America.
finances. That does not tell you
Yes,
their
they do.
finances. No, it
I live
doesn't.
it.
They're
You have
private
to
You know
sign
what's
an
so
NDA to get
funny?
it.
You know what's
They are
so
not
funny
required to
though?
report.
Skip
I
that
live in
anyway.
a-
Skip that.
I live
Skip
in a-
that
You know
anyway.
what is
If you sign an
incredibly
NDA,
I
funny
live-
about all of this,
in the
Shut up,
gentlemen,
Jesus Christ,
is
people.
you guys
Shut up.
literally made the space race conversation depressing by bringing all the political funding bullshit into it. You
Yeah.
failed the prompt. You proved the point that it is depressing. Holy
No, it's
fuck
not.
shit.
No, it's not.
I live in a
There's
I live
people
in
who
an
go down there
agricultural.
every day for lunch.
I live
It's
in an
amazing. Go out
agricultural
with
area.
Go touch
Unless
I live
grass,
in a-
Sarah.
politicians
That was about
backing
as
you.
depressing as it gets.
I
Go
live
touch
in a-
grass, Sarah.
Politicians
Go
back
touch
you
grass.
in order for you
Get in the
to
car.
be able to
Go down
explore.
South Texas.
Hey,
and go
hey,
to
do
Starbucks.
you need a politician to give you money to go explore?
Get in the car. Go down to Starbase, Sarah, and go see a launch.
Never
It's
mind. You can't
amazing.
answer.
People love it. They're having
I
cookouts.
live in a
Touch grass. Don't be out
The
here
answer,
on the
Clay, is
internet
that
crashing out.
exploring means building a
Well,
If
never
that
spaceship
was a
and going to
mind.
another
manosphere that
planet.
was
Yes.
crazy, I don't know what you
Hey,
call this sphere, but they're about
listen,
just as
Linda.
crazy, Sarah.
Listen,
This
Linda.
They'll mess up the
is
space
I
hell
station.
literally come
Go out
from
and touch
lawn
grass.
maintenance.
It's
bro.
amazing.
They
It's
even called
amazing.
us lawn maintenance technicians for some reason.
I live in
Literally.
a
Amazing.
My
When you see a
job
20-story
is grass.
building
What are you
like
talking
land
about?
and get caught by this
My
retractor
job
tower,
is grass.
that joint
okay?
is crazy.
Job.
You
My
hear
literal
the
job.
Hold on, Alexander. I think your mic is super low because I noticed that. Actually, let me. I can turn you up on my end. Go ahead and say something, Alexander.
Testing.
Yeah, let me turn you up some more because you are
about
you are
now?
competing. I think you're on your phone. You are competing with major mics here, so we need to volume you up all the way. What's up, Alexander? Spit it out. I know you got thoughts.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta. It's my browser. It's reducing my microphone volume.
Oh, okay.
real quick while he's doing that. While he's doing
No,
that, if I
please
can say
no.
this, obstacles. You use the word retractable. You got to keep in mind you're talking to Clay. You need to use smaller words, man.
You know, every one of the rockets that goes off for
Well, I'll
the
tell you
fucking
what, why don't you
Starlink
explain to me what
Launch
that means there,
Starlink
Dave? Why don't you
takes
explain to me what those words mean?
16,000 cars worth of fucking
From Southern
greenhouse
Alabama.
gases in one
What
launch.
does
Wait,
retractable mean?
wait, guys, stop! Fatty was saying something interesting. Fuck you guys! Oh my god!
Clay.
Why
Clay,
do you guys
I'm
hate
s-
interesting
I-
conversation?
Say my name again. Say it
I
one more
am-
time. What's my name?
I am
What's my name?
six.
Say it one more
I am.
time. No. What's my
I
name?
am.
Say my name. Say my name.
You notice what we
I muted them. Oh, we can't hear it again. There, it's just like look these fucking idiots just go back and forth. Like, what are we supposed to do? It's not fun. It's not interesting.
I'm laying on my back. I'm a bad mama jam.
Like, what? Why? What's the point? You know?
Yes, fear the fupa. Fear the fupa.
Waves.
Fear the fupa.
Wow.
Alexander, is it working now?
Yes, I think so. How do I sound?
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
That's probably why you were turned way down before. Okay.
I've been trying to talk for like most of the conversation, but apparently no one can hear me.
Oh,
So,
you're in
good to
Tifa
know.
Commander.
This. Are we still on the space race topic, or
Go
what are we
for
on?
it, Alexander. Go
No, I'm
for
just
it.
You got it,
wondering.
man.
I might have missed
Yep.
it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to stop bringing politics into fun questions. All right. Just leave it at the door for a little bit. Show that we could be like cultural and talk to each other like human beings rather than jumping into blame
We
games
stop-
and whatever else.
We could always talk about how Mickey Mouse is a black man. That'd be fun.
Okay, Dane. When once in your life have you had a thought about the thought of Mickey Mouse being a black man? Have you ever thought about thinking about Mickey Mouse being a black man?
No, I just knew if I mentioned that would trigger all the racists on the panel.
I mean, he's kind of right in that, like the Mickey, like the characters like that were kind of modeled after not black men, but like people doing blackface. You know,
Betty Boot really was modeled after a black woman, but that, you know, it's just a fun conversation. Boop, boop, be-doo.
I actually never knew that. It's interesting.
Yeah. It was an actual black dancer. Yeah, that's the story, you know. But Victor writes the history, so who knows?
All right, are we ready for our next topic?
I don't know if I can handle it. It's late and I'm old.
No,
you can go. It's no big deal.
You'll survive. I promise.
That's what my wife tells me sometimes. I'll survive.
All right, I'm gonna leave it to the chat. You failed the goal. So let's see. Let's see. What time is it? Yeah, we'll do.
Closing thoughts, please.
Now we're back.
Free us. Free us.
And we're back to
I guess
the
I'm not
regular
locked here. I can
Dono
literally
because
leave
I
whenever I
even put
want.
on the cheap one and you guys failed it, and I'm actually disappointed in that because I was being nice to you. All right, so I'm gonna leave it to the chat. First person with a $10 dono in at the very least gets to decide which one we're doing. You can refer to the video description. There are
Alexander's
topics
cool.
in there.
We like Alexander.
But I'll say some out loud.
I'll consider what he said
Hunger
about
Games.
the space thing. But
We could talk about different movies. There's some movie options in here, like different styles. We can talk about Christmas stuff. We could talk about gang stalking. What the fuck is gang stalking?
it's when someone like believes that like they're being quote unquote gang stalked by like a bunch of people online, like they're trying to like they're following their every move and tracking them and stuff like that. Which sometimes they actually are, but you know.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, you're not that person, and I'm definitely not following you.
We can do the panel roast. Panel roast audience can pay to pick who is getting roasted.
I vote for
I
that
think
one.
that one would be fun. I think most people would enjoy. Oh, who dropped?
Yes.
Is everybody's internet suck tonight or something?
I'm on Starlink. My internet is phenomenal.
I'm on.
Well, Lefty Warrior, to be fair, the dude that spent 200 also spent 100 to bring me back, and he sent me 100 personally. So I'm not really that upset at it.
We can do,
it's okay. It's good for satellite internet. It's not the best.
Social- We could do social media, some AI topics, some energy. All right, Tom
Is
Carpenter.
Ryan worried about AI? He's a coder.
Tom Carpenter says
I use AI to code.
roast, and I think Texas Bully Mom is on board. She said, let's do a fun one so we can laugh. I think a panel roasting would be an appropriate way to go out with a bang. Tom Carpenter, since you paid the 20, please tell us who you'd like us to roast first, sir. Anyone on the panel is up for grabs. If you have sensitive feelings, listen very closely, those of you who are on the panel. If you have sensitive feelings, now is the time to make a kind exit. Quietly, just leave.
That's you, Ryan.
And then message
Ryan.
and say that
Look,
Yeah, don't worry about me, buddy.
that you have bad internet or something, okay? You have
Before-
your exit.
Before Carpenter Tom responds to who he wants roasted, in case it's me, I got to go pee. I got to do that before he answers because y'all will think I'm hiding. I'll be back in a minute, okay?
Well,
It takes a
you are
fat man a
not
while to
on
do
the
this.
list. It is
Santa
going
Claus
to
doesn't
be
know it's called a bio break.
Effigy. Effigy is first on the list. And Texas Bully Mom, I will allow you to pick the next one. So Effigy. I will begin with the first roasting.
Infallible fouls.
Sir.
As I stalk
Bad
Hutch,
one
you
with
must
that.
be stopped.
And
So
I'll leave it
true.
there. All right.
Get him, boy.
Panel, have your fun.
Wait, what?
Wow, not everyone talks at once.
Effigy hides his face because he's a
Effigy.
big. Effigy hides his face because he's a big uggo. He's a ugly. You're ugly. Ugly.
It's
yeah,
a fair
at least
cop.
Ryan has the decency to show his face.
I bet he smells bad
I'm roasting
too.
you, sir, not the other way around. You sit there and listen and take it. Like a
Is
good girl.
Effigy reliving his childhood through his animations here with some weird looking shit? Is that what's going on? What actually, let me ask you this, Effigy. What made you want to become an animation and not a person on the screen? Yeah, where's Bad Gemini? We need Bad Gemini. He roasts the fuck out of all y'all.
Well,
Also,
you
what
see,
prompted you to give the
my
LLM
mother
to
was
get that
assaulted by an
animation?
animation when I was a child.
Oh, I'm sorry, Effigy.
Oh, I see.
Your mother
Whoa.
is an animation.
Now,
That would be a big twist in my life. Well, I think we've had a breakthrough.
That's why you look like one. I mean, you never noticed?
is this like what you wished you looked like? Was this dude?
Bastard child of a.
This is the summation of all my dreams.
Ooh, I got one. I got a roast. All right, Effigy. Some of your animations look like AI.
Some?
Wait, just
Actually,
some?
Hold on.
No, programmers don't get humor.
How do
It's
you? How,
completely impossible
No
for a coder
shit.
to joke.
Oh.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
hold on. Do you think he is an AI? Maybe that explains a lot of what he says.
I
Oh
don't.
my god.
I
it
don't
all
think
makes
Effigy.
sense.
I don't
I
think
am
Effigy can.
100% not Trippy Cast.
I don't think Effigy can spell AI.
True. True.
Oh, that's a burn.
And I mean, you know, I don't know. With my interactions with him, I would say he may not be gay, but he missed a damn good chance.
Shit.
Dane needs to stop hitting on me.
Oh.
So trust me, if I was going to be gay, it wouldn't be you, man. I'd find a man that was worth something.
You don't even know what he looks like. He might be handsome.
Well, I
Nah,
can look
he
at
was
all
a
this
roast. What
animation.
else was
I
you
can look at all this animation, and I can tell that he's afraid of the outside world knowing who he was. You know, I would be if I were to be gay, I would find a confident man.
Hey, I might at the very least
flirting
be
with me,
your
Dan?
kind of ugly.
You might at the very least be what?
I might at the very least be your kind of ugly.
No, I don't.
It looks like
I don't.
something I would design
That's
in
disgusting.
Oreo.
Effigy, if you could describe yourself to us, what would you tell us you look like?
Orange.
Oh.
Is it Donald Trump? Is that who's here?
It's
It all
a
makes sense
hangout.
now.
Although we do have a Donald Trump that hangs out here, so this is true.
Effigy, are you gay?
Only for you, Dane.
He's just confused. He's
I
an
can live in
augmented
hope.
He's stuck in an animated FG's body.
It's just open.
Nobody will let
Just
him be who he wants to
Willing to
be.
explore.
Weren't
He
you
just
paying
needs a
attention
little
earlier to
interest in somebody.
Spectrum?
Hmm.
On the spectrum
I ain't
of
gonna hate
being
you either way.
furry,
I was just asking. I was just curious, man.
I mean, Effigy, do you even feel roasted? I mean, you look the part, but do you feel roasted? Are you warm and cozy on the inside? Do we
You
make
kind of
you
need
feel
to do something about somebody to roast them.
It got slightly warmer.
a little bit?
Face melter.
You kind of have to know someone to roast them. I mean, just an
That's
animation on
true.
the
That's what's making
screen.
it hard.
This is true. Well, good. Clay's up next. Oops. I put him. I
Oh, that's
accidentally put you
okay, all right. Now
backstage.
you know why I
hit
do the
wrong
animation.
Button. I hit the wrong button.
Okay,
Clay, show your face.
Awesome
I dated a
projection,
guy
Lefty
once that looked
Warrior.
like that.
We all know. Like Mega Mike Johnson.
Maybe he's the guy you dated.
It was
Now-
high school, man. It was high school. You dated who you could, you know.
Now
That's true.
let's begin with a yodel, Clay, just for old time's sake, because I think a yodel would kick off.
Are you fondling llama balls?
Yeah. What are you doing with the butt? Why is your finger up there?
He enjoys having his head up its head.
It'd be better if you like smelled your finger after that, then that would actually.
How many times have we told you to
I
not
think
let
it's
your
worse when he
weekends
wants
bleed
us
over
to-
into your
Okay,
Mondays?
thank you. You could be better. I feel like you're not going to add anything productive
then
here,
they
so I'm just going to
spear
hide
the
your
llama's
message.
butt.
But thank you for stopping by.
Like a veterinarian.
Is that what you do in your spare time? You check the temperature of llamas, finger style.
No, that's Ben's job.
Is that a llama or an alpaca?
All llamas are alpacas, sir.
It's a hillpaca.
Well, that's something I don't know a whole bunch about because I don't be packing very many things, man. But you know,
Effigy
That
is
was gay.
though.
Pause. So this is actually a hill llama. So one side of the body, the legs are
Put your head
shorter
right
than the
there,
other.
Clay.
For real?
For real.
Do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do you relate to this guy, like the Rama?
Is that a threat? You could be better. Are you gonna put
Clay,
Sharia law on me?
Clay, is that your beard or your hair in the back there?
Both.
No, that's a llama.
Oh.
He's Jesus.
The reason you
He's
want your head
doing that
next to
like
a
that's
llama,
a beard to be proud of.
It is. It's great, bro.
If that's all you can do. So let me ask you, on the hill alpaca, when they're coming back the other direction, I mean, do they have to back up on the hill, or when they turn around? I mean, how do those longer, shorter sides work?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
They back up.
I'm not
That's
really
weird.
worried about Sharia law taking
That's
over
what
the
I was
United
thinking. It
States.
makes
I'm
sense
more
why
worried
he would
about.
have that hill alpaca if he had to back that.
Sorry, this is really boring. But yeah, you could be better. So guys, you could be better. Message. He sent a message that said, can't view it. Hang on. He said, when Islam comes, only your daughters will suffer more than your sons. That's the one. For whatever reason, YouTube held it, and I was like, oh, this guy's not really adding much. But now it's actually more entertaining than the roast of Clay. So I'm gonna engage a little bit, I guess. I just don't really see that being a major problem for me in the United States. But I'm more concerned about, the Republicans, which seem to have a lot of overlap in their Christian nationalist values that they're pushing forward, or at least Republicans who are running the government, who are sympathetic to Christian nationalism and or using it to consolidate power. And I think those people are going to do things that are reminiscent and have ideological overlap to Sharia law. And I'm concerned about those things, but I'm not really worried about Muslims taking over my government right now. So, speaking of Islamophobia, P. Fletch is here.
Somebody else roasted. You must pay. Otherwise, we can.
I didn't realize I didn't have my camera on.
It's okay. We didn't need to look at you. I mean,
Yes,
Santa's
you
not
do. I
supposed
was
to be
depriving
seen.
y'all of my glory.
If we look at you, then you won't bring Christmas gifts because we're not supposed to see you. So
I'm not bringing y'all Christmas gifts anyway. I'm poor.
You could be better. I have bad news for you. My best friend is
I can't
like
afford
Muslim,
coal.
a guy from Jordan.
all right.
I love him. I love having him in my
okay,
household. He
we've
always cooks me
got,
delicious food.
Let's do another simple, fun one. What
Okay, bye, P.
is
Fletch.
your what is the worst Christmas movie and the best Christmas movie? I am starting with this one. The best Christmas movie was Die Hard. Fucking fight me, okay?
You are
Fucking
100%
fight
correct.
me. And worst Christmas movie.
Elf. Take that back.
I like Elf. Elf's funny.
I'll find
I
you.
don't know.
A Christmas Story.
No, that's
Anything
a
with
classic.
Airbud.
Worst.
It was actually Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. All
Christmas
right, we will.
edition. It was horrible.
Jason has voted for Ryan to get his roasting, but we'll finish the Christmas thing
Thanks,
and we'll come
Jason.
back to Ryan. I don't know what the worst Christmas movie would be, but Dane, to you, sir. Santa gets privileges on that one.
The worst Christmas movie? I mean, it was, at least this one was a Christmas themed movie, unlike Die Hard. That's not a Christmas movie.
Yes,
That's
Friday the 13th.
What you're saying in that held message is true.
Santa, there was no
You
Jesus.
could be better,
It's not a
but
Christmas movie.
please don't describe
now I have
really
a machine
explicit
gun.
violence in my
With
chat.
Christmas
Thank you.
music.
You can't
Whole
just
premise
make
is that he's on
you
his way
can't
to a
just make
Christmas
it up.
party.
But I would
Happens on
say
Christmas Eve.
I would say A Christmas Story. There was a whole bunch of good one-liners like Fragile and It's a Leg Lamp and all that kind of stuff. There were a bunch of great individual scenes that were hysterical, but the movie itself, is just, I just think it's a waste of time. It's like playing Monopoly. It lasts too long. There's no fun in it. You'll put your eye out watching it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week.
Uncle Fatty, best and worst.
I agreed with you.
Die Hard. That's what we're talking about.
Die Hard's the best for sure, but Friday the 13th is the worst Christmas edition movie ever. It was horrible.
Commies.
There's something worse.
Fair enough. Ryan, best and worst.
I think Elf. Elf is for me. I just love Elf. It's such a fun movie. I already watched it this year. It really is a phenomenal
I can't believe
film.
I agree with him on something.
I mean, it's a banger, dude. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I do love me some Elf. Santa! Oh, it's great.
As for worst, Probably Die Hard.
Damn it, Sarah.
Fucking
You done
fight
got
me.
me agreeing with Ryan on two sides.
Fucking fight me, Ryan. Fucking
Call the
fight me.
fire department.
I will. I'll fight both y'all with my eyes
I haven't even
closed.
seen Die Hard.
Because I've got elves on my side. It's Joshua Stacy to you, sir.
I
Best
think
in
Ryan
worst.
likes the emotional maturity level of Will Ferrell and Elf, and so he likes seeing that encouraged in society.
Save it for the roast guy.
My man,
Well,
it's just flowing
you
so
are no
easy.
longer-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You are no longer on the roast list. Jason switched it to me, so I will be roasted.
Oh, retargeting. Santa Buddies by far, because Airbud was stupid to begin with, and doing a holiday special on it is
There was
just
a-
awful.
There was a Santa one of Airbud?
Yeah, called Santa Buddies. I Googled it. I had to look it up. It's just
Ugh.
shameful. Dogs playing basketball. No,
Yeah,
just no.
The first one was weird. All right, Alexander, best and worst.
Best Die Hard, of course.
Yeah.
The worst, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I got to watch like 20 minutes of it, and I wanted to spoon out my own eyeballs. The Nutcracker in 3D. I don't know.
I never could get past the name of that play. The Nutcracker. I never could get past that.
I got to be honest. It felt like it felt like it was using a vice for that too. Yep.
Ouch.
Oh yeah.
All right, Duck, best and worst. Don't get weird.
All right, so the best Christmas movie of all time is Harry Potter 1, and this is because it perfectly embodies in a small scene both what Christmas is like the first time the audience sees a magical Hogwarts in Christmas garb, and Harry receives a very special gift from his father. So this one scene is very emblematic of the entire movie, which you guys already know, of course. So that's the first one. And if I can just add this in as an honorable mention, I think there's a Christmas scene in When Harry Met Sally. It's an old movie with, I think, Billy Crystal, and is it Meg Ryan or something in that one?
You're bringing it up and you don't know.
When Harry Met Sally?
I thought it was a Christmas movie.
The only scene in Harry Met Sally I remember is where she's faking an orgasm in the diner. Yeah. I'll
I
have
just
what she
watched
had.
that the other day. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Pecan pie.
Was she faking it, or was it the remote underwear or whatever?
No, she was faking because he's what was he had
He
a
claimed
point.
that women could not fake an orgasm, so he would know that women he was with had
I
an
haven't seen that
orgasm.
movie
She
in a
said,
long
yes, they
time.
can. No, they
That's
can't. So she fakes it in the diner, and an old lady, middle-aged lady at the other booth that was getting ready to order said, I'll have what she's having.
I'm thinking of a
It's a
different
good
movie.
movie.
90s humor, Ryan. We didn't have TikTok
90s
yet.
humor. Yeah, it's a
I ate at that
coming-of-age
diner
tale.
once.
So the first time you guys have a job in your 20s or something, and you've been working for a year or something, sticking it out and stuff like that, I definitely recommend watching that movie.
Which
It's
one?
a good one.
When
The
Harry
same
Met
movie.
Sally.
When Harry.
Oh.
What's the
Same
movie with
movie,
the?
probably,
There's another
yeah, when Harry
movie
Met Sally.
with
Yeah.
What happened to the brother on the panel? The other guy, the obstacles guy. What happened to him? Did he leave while I was in there using the bathroom?
I got a little too racist,
don't
and he had
know.
to bounce.
He might have left actually.
I mean, you are pretty racist.
I am?
No, Ryan.
No,
Oh.
you both are.
Effigy, best and worst Christmas movie.
So the best Christmas movie for me will always be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
Like
that's a good one.
100%.
Oh, you got me there. If I can change mine, I'll change it to that one. I forgot.
Solid pick.
It just makes me feel like Christmas felt when I was a kid. Every time I
Normal.
watch it.
See,
Well,
first you got
just the
me.
way it like shows families and the awkwardness of it, and
I know Burks.
I love National
I just
Lampoon's
couldn't
movies,
resist.
and it's just everything. It's got everything.
First you
Worst
got
for
me
me,
agreeing with Ryan. Now Effigy.
the worst is, and the only reason I even know this movie exists is from Mystery Science Theater 3000, is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians from 1964.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Everything about that's perfect.
It is so bad it's good, but I probably would say that it's probably the worst Christmas-oriented movie I've ever seen.
Oh, but with the commentary.
Well, aside, like if you have to watch it without the commentary,
Oh yeah,
it's really bad.
All right, Ant.
I'd say for worst, I don't have a specific movie in mind. Just pick any Hallmark slop you care to name that's Christmas themed, and that's probably why most people hate Christmas movies. They're all the same script. They're all sugary and just too much. Best Christmas movie, man, you put out some bangers. I think, though, a really good contender to throw up there though is Gremlins.
Oh, good, yeah, good choice.
Scrooge just.
Speaking of Gremlins, Tom says the best Home Alone 2, where he's in New York, and the worst all horror Christmas movies.
No, he should have said best Home Alone 1, worst Home Alone 4.
Oh God, the fact
I
that they even
forgot there's
went
a
beyond
4.
2 just broke my spirit.
If I remember, it's
Wow.
a completely different actor.
Yeah,
too.
that's a good addition for sure. That's a good. I like Tom's choices. What was it? Yeah, the Gremlin movie freaked me out. The last horror movie I watched was Saw, but I did watch horror movies when I was younger, and that one was one of the spooky ones.
Gremlin was spooky. Okay.
Gremlins, yeah, a little bit, a little spooky.
Well,
if you're
I
a kid.
mean, for Duck,
I can see scary. I wouldn't say spooky. They're just like. It's
Well,
like
yeah, I
haunted.
mean, I think that's
There's
what
just like
what
mythos to it, where he
synonyms.
gets him from like ancient Chinese shop,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, it's,
Fair. Yeah.
Yep, that's fair. Did
thought it was
Clay
a
go?
comedy.
Did I have Clay go?
No, Clay didn't
Nobody
go.
cares what Clay thinks.
No one cares. He's got some dirty things
Aw.
to do, some backing up alpacas.
He's backing him out.
Trump
backing
was
up.
in the New York one.
Go ahead, Clay.
That's how he got
best and
famous. That
worst.
was his big break.
Oh, I thought nobody cared what I thought. So
I
I,
do.
guess.
Apparently, she does.
Oh, that's actually true.
Sarah does, but she's a woman. She's very agreeable and nurturing.
Emotional.
But it's my panel.
Correct.
There's the point right there. And I want you guys to know that the best Christmas movie of all time. I don't know if you've watched it. It was Sarah the Raging Tomato.
The second Gremlins was more
Feeling so
silly,
Fuck
but the
all
first
you
one was
don't
pretty
No,
eerie.
in all
What a
seriousness,
kiss up.
Absolutely,
that way, bro.
100%. 100%.
Oh, he does
And
it
you
at
need to
the
learn
end
how
of
to do that.
every. He does it at the end of every
Sure.
show too. He reaffirms that I am the.
I hear
best
you,
moderator
Panelverse. I
and
also
host in
don't do a
all
lot of
of
editing on
time,
mine.
and we love him for it.
I need to upload more.
Friend
I don't like
zone.
doing editing.
Sarah is a friend. What are you talking
That's
about?
why I just stream.
Right.
My biggest red flag, because you guys never asked me what mine was. My biggest red flag: any man that tells me they're a YouTuber.
Understandable.
I could go with that. Is it that term YouTuber, or is it just any term to describe what he does?
Well, if he describes himself as an influencer, I automatically assume he's gay. So that's he's not even on the list, right?
Fucking right.
If he says I'm a YouTuber or a podcaster, all right, we're getting there, but you're still on my red flag list.
No, but Sarah, I feel like just my 2 cents on this. If there's like a buff
do
hot
you
dude or
have
something,
2 cents, Duck?
I have exactly.
You can't tell it by his
2 cents. It's not
hairstyle.
the bank account though. But
Lefty
yeah,
Warrior,
but
you were
if
right.
a dude- if he's
That
wearing
is
a
literally why he
black
said it.
V-neck or
He
something,
was trying to get a
like, on
reaction out of us.
streamer, I would think that like, oh, this is a buff dude that's about his business, right? He's about the world. He's doing his thing. Like if someone's like, oh, I am a streamer, I'm a YouTuber, I'd be like, well, this guy definitely doesn't like that could mean anything. You probably have 50,000 subs, and I bet you get like fucking 20 people showing up to your shitty non-algorithm bop stream panel, whatever. Sorry guys. Just my 2 cents there.
You only had 2 cents and you wasted it on that? Okay.
Hey, add 97 to that. Send a super sticker.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know.
It's a good thing they're phasing out the
Thanks
pennies
for your input,
because his
Doc.
2 cents wasn't worth shit.
Mr. Tom
thanks.
Carpenter says Home Alone 2 was best because Trump was in it. Now watch their faces.
Oh, me and my chat were already talking about how that's why he wrote, like, Tom Carpenter wrote his other super chat for specifically that reason. We're way ahead of you, dude. Saw you from a mile away.
Fair enough. All right, it is officially my turn. What?
Well, I haven't gone yet because there were some people who were dissenters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did they interrupt you? My apologies. Everybody, give Clay his
for that.
space. Give Clay his space.
Let him get back up.
We're
Just for
holding
that.
space for you, Clay.
Back
We're
that
holding
ass
space
up.
for you.
Back
Oh,
that
God.
alpaca up. Go ahead, Clay.
Here we
Best
go.
and worst.
There you go. The absolute best movie of all time is It's a Wonderful Life. And so fuck all of you who said anything else. And then the worst Christmas movie, like there are definitely some bad Christmas movies. I can't pick one, but I'll go with Jingle All the Way just because it was terrible. But yeah, there you go.
What about the Santa Claus? Remember Tim Allen gets arrested?
That's a good movie.
That one was bad.
First one's
Damn,
pretty good.
Ryan, quit
the
that.
third one.
Quit
What?
that,
It's fun.
Ryan.
Santa Claus is fun. It's a fun one.
Stop agreeing with stuff I believe in,
Oh.
Ryan. Look, it's against the laws of nature. Quit it.
But you're his big daddy.
Yeah, you.
I mean,
are.
people don't like my
Your
political
name.
values, but you know, I'm
The
not
name
that
does say
unlikable.
Big
You know.
Daddy.
That was,
All right.
that was with Tim the Toolman
It
Taylor.
is
Ow.
officially
Ow.
compliments of our darling Jason.
Oh, am I not
who
getting a
did
roast
so
now?
kindly to me tonight with lots of donos and fun stuff, trying to make me cry, but he failed. He failed. Why? Because he warned me in advance. But now he would like all of you to roast me. So go on. I dare you, and watch these magical remove buttons.
Not
happen.
intentionally, Callie Dime. Just happens sometimes.
Sarah, you're so broke. You're so broke that you had to explain one time that you bought.
Just like that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Sarah's so broke that she uses wired headphones because she prefers them.
They were $20.
Got him.
Sarah's like in her 30s and she still uses hot girl colored lip gloss.
It's clear.
That ain't clear.
You do that a little
even-
bit lower. Oh, there you go.
I'm supposed to be roasting Sarah, but I don't know if I have it in me right now.
There you go. Clip that. Clip it. All right, come on. I know all y'all little shits have something to say since I yell at you all the time. What you got?
Hey Sarah, when did they let you out of Whoville?
Sarah's such a drunk. Sarah's such a drunk that they had to explain to her at Subway the $5 footlong isn't a footlong drink. Like in Vegas.
A drink?
Why is that?
Like in Vegas, you know,
Why
like
is
you-
that
like
funny?
You could have
Footlong drinks.
exchanged drunk with hoe, and that would have been a funny joke, man. But you
Yeah.
ruined it.
No, he
Why
can
would I do
sort of
that,
set
though?
jokes up.
Wow, y'all suck.
Sarah
It's part
is
of the more
so
masculine side of the world, except for Ryan over there. But it's part of the more masculine side of the world when it comes to roasting women. That's it's against. At least to me, I'm thinking I don't know her well enough, and
Oh, Sarah thought
Sarah
Sarah
on the
thought
fucking
Sarah,
wall like a shitty tomato.
Sarah thought
Question,
Banana
do you
Republic.
think-
Sarah
do
thought
you
Banana
think
Republic was
my-
a Sarah. We're roasting you. 1 second. Sarah thought Banana Republic was a Chippendale calendar.
Ooh, yes.
I don't get it. I must have missed something. Why are you so pissed off, Sarah?
It's not surprising.
The whole raging tomato thing. Why are you raging? I'm curious.
It's underwhelming, honestly.
The name wasn't because I'm raging, but shout out to Ben Balderson because are my cups actually giant or really am I just that little? That's the question you must answer, sir.
Definitely.
No, the Raging Tomato came from, I was named by the one and only Hormaxer, that is his name. And he's a gross, perverted man who likes to say disgusting things and go to sex clubs, and he likes to talk about going
A
to
couple
sex
of
clubs.
perks. That's very funny.
When I first entered this space, I entered via Playing with Fire during his speed dates, and I was one of the girls on the speed date rounds. And none other than the Hormaxer came on to speed date me, and the first question he asked was, "Hey, if on our first date, would you want to go to a sex club with me?" And I was just completely blown away that the idea that the man would ask me that question, that I kind of gave him shit for it. And then the next time we were on a panel together, he got very angry with me. I think he was still upset about the not being happy with him talking about sex clubs. And he's like, your face is red. You look like a fucking tomato. You're the Raging Tomato. And I created an entire channel off of an insult.
Well, that's a much more interesting story than what I thought you were referring to. So, okay.
Because if you look up what a Raging Tomato is, like on I think it's Urban Dictionary or something, it's pretty gross. You don't want to know. So
Does it have to do with menstruation?
No.
Okay, well, that's what I was
Not at all.
thinking. And I was thinking, who the hell would do that?
No. No, think of it in a sexual way and what you could do with a tomato from the rear.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I've been married for almost 4 decades.
Tom says Sarah's lip gloss shows up for the show 5 minutes before she does. Sarah's lip gloss has more layers than my emotional baggage.
I got one. Sarah, Mama Tomato, one time Mama Tomato texted Sarah a link and said, this is a Don Lemon video, and she opened it in an incognito browser.
Who's Don Lemon?
Don Lemon was the anchor on, was it MSNBC or something?
He was that pseudo black dude.
Your jokes have too much lore attached.
Pseudo black.
I know. You gotta break it down. Don't break it down for real.
Clay,
I thought it was funny.
Clay, are you fucking the mod?
You fucking the moderator.
Somebody's definitely fucking the mod around here.
No, Sarah really is crazy though. She's so crazy that she got drunk one night and she really thought the moon was made of cheese.
It is. You can't eat it.
Oh my God.
If we run out
You
of
don't
food
get
here,
Rough night, guys.
You don't get to tell me that was a cheesy joke because I know it was.
You want to add some wine with it too, there, Clay?
Absolutely.
Well, give it to me.
Tell me another one, Clay.
White or red?
There, just like that. See, I just throw him backstage. Keep going, Clay. Keep going. Yeah, backstage. See?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting roasted. I wanted the
Anything else, Dad?
roast.
You guys suck at this.
It's
Wait,
hard
I have
to
a question.
spot.
Go ahead. Adam.
Growing up, Mama Tomato had to explain to Sarah that the religion is called Protestant. It's not Protestant.
What?
Protestant.
I don't get it.
He's trying to make a produce joke and it's not working.
It would be
produce
a lot
it?
easier.
Oh,
for
that
me
is
to-
funny.
A produce
It would be a lot
Hang
easier
on,
for me.
wait, everyone. I have a question, Sarah. Do you feel the power?
The power of the Panoverse. I got the power. I swear, all they did was empower me even more with that shit. Like they think it's see again. If you tried I built an entire channel off of a fucking insult. You dumb fucks. You can't insult me and me not go and make money off of it. Watch me now.
I could roast Sarah a lot better if she was younger and more attractive. But because she's older and she clearly has some miles on her, I feel like she's closer to my age. So there's a certain amount of respect there. I'm like, well, I don't want. I'm like, she's old and she's got some parts that are probably starting to fail. So I'm gonna take it easy. If she was like, I don't know, hot and young, and I would be like, oh yeah, I can like put this woman in her place. She's not nearly as desirable as she thinks she is, but I can look at Sarah and tell she knows how desirable she's not.
Now.
So I just don't want to hurt her.
It was funny.
If she wasn't raging, she'd be invisible.
It's probably too. I'm surprised nobody went off the red face though. That would have been an easy one. That was good though. That was good. You got me.
If I could simp a little bit though, like I said, I've been with my wife for 36 years, and she's 53 years old and had 5 kids.
Trap.
She had 5 kids. No. She's had 5 kids. And like when I look at her, I still see that 17-year-old girl I met when I was 18. So, there is that going on. But I'm just saying, I just thought it'd be funny.
Simp for that.
I only stuck around because I thought I was getting roasted.
And she makes my damn sandwiches. She makes my sandwiches whenever I want it.
Did she just bring you one too?
Yeah,
no, but she did ask me if I wanted some of that pot pie she made.
Oh, what kind? Chicken pot pie?
It was some pot pie she made out of actually some ground turkey. She had thawed out some ground beef, but turned out to be chicken breast. So she had to swap over to some ground turkey. But I don't care as long as she brings it to me.
Oh.
Sarah, I have a question.
I don't care as long as she brings it to me.
Sarah, I got a question.
Is it another dumb joke?
No, it's a question if this. I'm not.
Stop. Go ahead.
Okay, is this offensive?
Cooker duck.
I was going to ask you.
Duck.
Yeah, I'm not saying this about you, but would it be offensive if I made a joke comparing like Plan B bringing a Publishers Clearinghouse check to your house? Is that offensive or too like? Yeah, because you know how PHC used to bring $1 million like giant checks to people's houses.
I still think that was fake, but yeah, go ahead.
That's Well,
it's not going to help explaining it before you tell it.
No, but that's what I was asking though. I think.
Don't get it. What does
Never
Plan
mind.
B
You're asking if
and-
people on this channel will be offended.
Who is that
with a
asking
Plan
if
B
it's
joke.
offensive?
If Plan B brought a giant check to thank Sarah for all the Plan B she's bought, Jesus, we're doing a roast, aren't we?
Oh, he's calling you a hoe.
With that
He's
joke.
saying you have so many abortions through Plan B.
Do you usually worry if someone gets
I
offended
don't
in a
think
roast?
Plan B qualifies as an abortion, but
Yeah, I usually do.
Guys, look, Duck. You want to know how to roast Sarah? You make a pizza, a vegan pizza.
yeah, just throw her in a pot.
I just called her old and wore out, and you're worried about a Plan B joke offending her.
It just takes like 10 minutes to get there, and you
Everyone
don't even get
knows-
there.
This is why Duck gets booted. This
'Cause it's
right here,
boring.
This is why.
Duck's playing 5D
Duck-
chess. You guys are just not on his level.
Oh my God.
True, we are not on his level.
Yeah.
He
all
is
right, I gotta
uniquely
go.
qualified at
I
his
gotta go
level.
check on a dog and maybe go cry for all of these crazy roasts. You guys just completely destroyed me. But I will be right back. I will leave you with a topic. Hold on. Let me do a couple of these super chats real quick. Hold on. Carpenter Tom said, "Oh, I couldn't resist. That was with the Trump commentary." In all seriousness, though, I love New York and New York at Christmas. That's the real reason I like it. But my favorite is actually probably something like It's a Wonderful Life or another old classic. I think somebody else agreed with that as well. I think that was Clay. And Lumberjack says Sarah wanted to be the smartest person in the room so badly she only had 8 guys as options.
Stiff competition out here.
All right, I have to go get a dog because apparently she's having issues upstairs. But the
gonna get one, too.
topic.
Let's see. Wonderful Life is more of a men's mental health movie
It'd
than
be
it
great
is
if you
Christmas
film it,
movie.
Sarah.
I know it's set at Christmas, but it's really about a man coming to terms with his value to himself and his family.
Right.
Well, that's kind of true.
I love that movie.
It's
All
a
right,
great
let's go
movie.
Back
I'm not putting
to
it down.
politics because you guys are having fun with that one.
Finally.
Should Biden have snubbed Trump during his second inauguration?
Who gives a
Snubbed?
shit?
What do they mean snubbed?
I don't
Like
think
made
he
fun of him?
snubbed him. I don't think Biden snubbed him. He just forgot.
Biden's not Bubba, right?
Wait,
Let's roast Biden.
Biden's not Bubba though, right?
I don't
Is
think
he
they'll
not
get the
I don't
snubbing us?
understand the.
All right,
Trump, Biden didn't get a second inauguration. You mean like
Now
Biden should have said something
I'm
during?
stepping away for just a minute.
I don't understand the
okay?
question.
I expect you all to behave accordingly and don't interrupt each other. The people still need to hear you. I'll be right back.
She means you, Ryan.
Yeah,
That's
Biden
right,
should be
Ryan.
meaner. Biden should be meaner to Trump, and I mean always, yeah.
Biden can't be meaner to anybody. He doesn't know he's in the world.
I just disagree. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can disagree.
all those Biden jokes are gonna come back to bite you. The more senile.
Yeah.
Biden's
Your guy's shitting his pants in office right now, falling over all the time. Like this is not gonna turn around well.
You can't even stay awake right now.
It's not going to turn
Joe
out well.
Biden-
You mean like Biden's administration?
I think it did turn. You mean record numbers of bipartisan legislation slowed down our inflation rate compared to every other comparable nation to the lowest rate? Like I mean,
But you assume that Biden was
Best
actually
recovery from
doing
COVID?
something and not his handlers and the people who were actually running the government.
No,
But
I mean, you
I
can
love
say
that
you,
dude.
assuming-
the
What is
Biden
a
administration
handler?
for what it's
What
worth.
is a
Then
handler?
you know.
Can you explain what the actual fuck is a handler?
Well, it seemed like
Sorry.
there's a noun
Sorry.
called a hand, and then the verb form of that would be to handle something. So someone who handles
Those are
something would be a handler.
morphisms. That's grammar.
Like
That's
Steve
not
Miller.
semantic.
But you asked me what a handler was. Good Lord, man. What do you want me to tell you? It's
I'm
English.
curious because
Like a definition of it?
Joe Biden and handlers, dude.
It would be people that every president, I don't care who they are, if you think the president is actually the HMFIC of the government, you don't understand the reality of government. So every president has had people around him who actually were the had influence on the decisions and the policies and the directions. The president doesn't just go in office and do whatever he wants to do. Now, how much influence do those handlers have over the president varies from president to president, but they're all influenced and controlled and have these
just keep it in the line. Just tamp it in a little bit if you're going to do this, Dane.
I'm going to answer my question.
I kind of agree.
You ain't my mama. I know you're feminine, but you're not my mama. I'm going to answer it the way I'm going to answer it. You don't get to tell me how to answer
what you are.
That's all.
I kind of agree because Trump has the Heritage Foundation, right?
I know you're used to trying to set the boundaries for children and such, but I'm going to answer it the way I'm going to answer it, man.
Guys, let's have a real discussion or conversation, not this, or even a debate, not this weird meta shit.
I'm all for it, so I'm trying to answer the question. And old fucky duck over there wants to try to.
You're literally doing the meta shit in response. I think when we talk about handlers, we talk.
He's looking for a specific answer, and you could avoid a lot of the duck drama if you wanted to. Maybe you like this. I don't think so, but he's saying who. So an answer like the team that was around him in his administration.
I'm answering the question. Well, what you need to do, Joshua, is you need to answer the question. Then, if you want it answered how you want it.
Well, let me ask: did Donald Trump, Dane and Josh? Let me ask this question: Did Melania?
That's all I was trying to help navigate. That's all.
This is a yes or no question. Did Melania Trump get Jill Biden dressed before her presidency?
How would I know?
The answer is no. Okay, gotcha.
How would
before
I know?
The inauguration, though? You would just assume that Jill Biden was not dressed by Melania Trump.
Okay, well then that's your answer. Anything else?
Yeah, I think Trump has handlers. They're called the Heritage Foundation, and they are trying to put forth a thing called Project 2025, and they're about 50% done.
So what
that's probably true.
What does any of this have to do with the actual topic? Should Biden have snubbed Trump? I don't see how any of
that. Well, I'm not even sure what.
No, he shouldn't have, because Democrats still believe in decorum and they still believe in doing what they should do. They don't fucking throw fits even though they lose. They believe in the institutions and they should show up and hand it away even to pieces of shit like that.
Damn, that's too real.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. That's why that they spent 4 years suing Trump and charging him with all sorts of crimes. And stuff.
He did the crimes.
He's just a criminal.
Right.
Don't do the crimes then.
He committed a crime that didn't have.
He did a lot of crimes.
He committed the crime.
Many crimes.
Criminal.
He committed a crime that did not have a victim, and the people that the state put forth as being the victim said they didn't carry the way. That's the crime he committed.
You know,
well, he did many crimes. You're just talking about one crime, right? You're just talking about the felony charges that but you're not talking about his other crimes, right?
What crimes are you talking about, Ryan?
Well, his crime of trying to overturn the election he lost.
No,
the elector scheme.
That's a myth. How did he try to overturn an election?
Wait. Is it a myth? Just to be clear, is it a myth that he sent 7 fake electors to the Capitol that day?
What are you talking about fake elector bullshit? A bunch of people went down January 6th and they said, we don't think that some of those were valid. And they wanted to actually go back and do the checks. And so they...
Yeah, I'm just going to ask the question again whenever you're done.
Why is Rudy Giuliani broke right now?
Because he's a criminal.
You guys keep pointing to some overthrow of the government, some hijack, something. This was a nothing burger. You guys are so butthurt you have to look at something where nothing even really happened.
I mean, something did happen for the first time in our history.
Ryan's gonna glitch out. I want to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So for the first time in our history, someone lost an election, and they responded by sending their supporters to the Capitol.
Yeah. Any of you? We're all gonna stop and take turns politely. Thank you.
So I just want to say, you guys elected a golf course developer. Like, people that and by you guys I mean people that voted for Donald Trump. They made that decision. You guys elected a golf course developer to be president, and so the entailment, the other bag, like, that you get back from this, whatever this is that in order to, like, reject Ryan's points or stuff that, like, Clay might talk about or, like, whatever, like, you have to also say, well, Wikipedia isn't a valid source of information. These major news like the Associated Press isn't valid, and so suddenly there's no truthful information, and this is to protect the fact that you guys elected a golf course developer to be president, right? Like,
yes,
right?
kind of.
Developer, like it's a bad thing, Duck.
Fake
like,
news.
No,
that doesn't mean shit to this conversation.
That's a president.
Yeah, it doesn't. What
That's
you,
funny. That's
And
hilarious.
it doesn't matter. Did he do anything
Fraudster,
illegal?
too.
Do you do anything
He's
illegal?
a liar and a cheat.
He did a lot of things illegal, yes.
He's
So one of the things,
incompetent person.
yeah,
no
and
one
one of the
worked
things,
with.
one of the things he did that is illegal, which I was just asking Dane, and then Josh tried to deflect right for him. So one of the things that he did that was illegal was he got 7 people to go lie and say that they were the state certified electors. So you guys might not know this because we do a bad job educating our public.
Was anybody charged for that, Ryan?
Yes, some of those electors were convicted actually.
Ooh, when? And what was
after January 6th? I don't have their names, but you can Google it.
Shut up and find me the conviction.
Kenneth Cheesebro guy.
Well, I'm not gonna. Well, I mean, I don't feel like I need to do this for you. Like everyone knows this, there was a whole January 6th commission. This happened for years. Everyone knows about this, except for you guys, because you guys live in fake news reality.
But nothing. The
what?
January 6th investigation was all about the protest. It had nothing to do.
No, that's not true. That's not true. No, you're lying. You're lying. It had a lot to do with the Eastman memos
you're
and
lying.
which. No, I'm not lying.
One person who was
God.
a so-called fake elector that was charged and convicted. Name one. Name one.
I don't know their names, but we can. Do you want me to Google it for? Just Google it. Have you considered Googling this?
Shut the fuck up, Ryan. You're not speaking facts. You're just talking out your fucking ass.
No, it is literally. I guarantee. I promise you. Look into this.
Because you said so, Ryan. Fucking.
I mean, you don't have to believe me. I'm asking you to go learn for yourself, right? Maybe I'm lying. You shouldn't take my word for it. You should look into it, but you won't because you don't want to believe it's true. You don't want to accept that this is the reality. You don't want to acknowledge. You don't want to acknowledge that the guy you support actually did this thing where he sent 7 fake electors. He had people lie. They lied and said that their states certified them. The states did not certify them, but they lied and said the states did certify them, so they could go to the Capitol and so they could get Mike Pence to then stop the certification of the election, and they were lying.
With this so-called crime, Ryan.
Lots of people have been charged with regards to this, including
the electors. I'm not talking about the protesters.
No, some of them were charged too. Yeah,
I know some of them were charged. That's what the committee was about. Fucking idiot.
Wait, so what are you arguing about?
We're talking about the electors, the ones you say were fake. The
yes, they were. They lied.
Who was charged? I didn't say they were telling the truth or lying. I asked which of them were convicted and charged with a crime.
Again, I don't know the names.
Well, then why are you bringing it up?
Because it happened.
But you don't know the details of it, so you can't really discuss it, can you?
I mean, I know enough. I know that what I know for a fact is that Donald Trump.
Your facts if you don't even know the facts, Ryan.
What I know for a fact is that 7 people lied and said that their states certified them. Are you denying those facts?
I'm denying that any of them were charged with crimes, Ryan.
Okay, so you're not okay. So we can get to that, but you're not denying that 7 people lied that their states certified them when the states had not certified them. You acknowledge that, right? Can we start there?
I will acknowledge there was an alternate set of electors that.
Not an alternate. No. To be just let's be real here. They lied. They lied.
Frame it, Ryan. It's irrelevant.
No, it's not alternate. The state didn't select alternate electors. They lied and said the states selected them when the states did not select them. Do you acknowledge that? Yes or no?
I don't. This is irrelevant.
No, well, it's not irrelevant because it's the question I'm asking you.
Crime. You claimed they were committing a crime,
yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
You can't show me that any of them were convicted of a crime. So
I mean, I'm sure I can't. I mean, it's very. Do you want it? Doing research in real time like this is kind of. Everyone can look this up.
Like criminal has a specific meaning, right? Someone convicted of a crime. But none of these.
It is a crime. Yes, it is a crime. It is a. I don't know the statute, but it is a crime to lie and say that you are the selected elector of a state, and then it's fraud. It's fraud. I mean, it's fraud, right? It's fraudulent. They were fraudulent electors. They were doing fraud. I think some of them were convicted. I think you're wrong.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
You know this is a fact.
I believe it to be true. Yes. My understanding is some of them were charged and convicted. Yeah.
So this is your belief. It isn't a fact. Okay. There's a difference between fact.
Yeah, I agree.
And belief.
Okay. So you're telling me right now that they weren't convicted? Is that what you're trying to get across here?
I'm asking you who was convicted.
Again, I don't know their names. Fuck. Well, I guess this whole time we could have been just Googling it, right?
Well, you might have done that before you fucking opened your mouth, too.
Were any of the fake electors from Trump's elector scheme charged and convicted? Let's find out.
Also, this has precedence. You know, it's not the first time alternate electors have been put up.
Are you talking about Hawaii in the 60s or whatever?
There was another. That's one of them. There was another one, and I can't remember the details.
I mean, the context was pretty different to my understanding. But
I'm not going to say this happens all the time, but it has happened before.
okay, here we go. So a Michigan judge did end up dismissing it. Okay.
Damn.
So the fact is they lied.
Like,
the fact is they lied, right?
Because we're this far along in this, and you don't know the basic facts of what fucking happened, or how this is not alternate electors; they are actually fake electors.
Yeah.
Yes, people were convicted.
Argue about what to call them. That's fine. I don't care if you call them fake or alternate. It matters not to me.
No, there's a huge difference between alternate electors that were okayed by a legislature and a state, and fake electors who forge documents to come and pretend to be something they're not.
And
yes, go ahead.
I gotta say, that was a beautiful thing. I teared up a little bit watching you completely pimp slap that lady, Ryan. It was beautiful.
Well, I mean, that's not what happened, right? Like what actually happened is I described the reality, and you guys denied it the whole time.
The way that you kept him in the corner, just arm barred him until it came out that he was talking out of his ass. That was beautiful.
So wait, Dane,
remember that.
Dane, do you deny that these people lied about being the state selected?
Minutia of fact, like it's ridiculous.
super
Come on.
meta.
Allow me to interrupt for
What matters
just
is
a
what is
moment.
true, not what someone can regurgitate in the moment. What matters is what is true.
And it was
What
not true.
It is true. They lied. They lied. Yes, it is true. They lied.
But what is true that if you don't allow me to talk to the chat, the show stops. Here's what's going to happen, folks.
Also, I don't think
You
what I
have
just read
that
is about all of
dono
them,
goal
so I'm
sitting there.
actually.
Okay, you have less than 10 minutes to hit it. You just need 6 more. Now, if we complete the dono goal, I will maneuver us, since it's almost midnight, over to the gauntlet, and we will continue down the evening people side of things for the rest of the night. We will continue on over there. However, if you do not complete the dono goal, I will end right here in 10 minutes, and we all go night-night. So it's up to you, chat, to make this happen. Okay? Either complete the goal and we continue on the gauntlet, or
Yeah, but were any of them
complete the
convicted?
goal and we all go to bed. Okay.
Let's rock out till there's some cocks out, guys. Let's go.
I don't want to see any cocks.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, here we go. So Lorraine Pellegrino, by the way, was one of the false electors who pled guilty. Just there. That's one.
You couldn't see mine anyway. Remember the super.
And Cheeseborough, a Trump lawyer who helped design the whole freaking thing, pled guilty in Georgia.
So it looks like I was actually right this whole time. So that's kind of funny that we went through all that, and I was actually correct that some of the false electors, including Lorraine Pellegrino.
So you're not going to get the rest of them to have been convicted because most of them cut deals with the fucking Justice Department.
Do y'all really think that the left, the politicians on the left, have a corner on the market of honesty and integrity, and
No.
the people on the left have a corner on the market, or people on the right have a corner on the market of cutting deals with prosecutors?
No.
See, this is the problem. Like,
The problem is that we said no to that question you thought was going to be an easy layup.
Listen,
Yeah, because you're an idiot.
Listen, do I get to talk, or y'all the only one gets around?
We'd really rather you didn't. You're not adding much.
Like, none of y'all are very.
Ryan,
no-
hold on. Ryan, stay back away from your mic, because every time you come in, it just clips and gets fuzzy and it's nasty. Stay behind it. And look, our friend Word War Debate is back.
Hey, they follow me on Twitter.
They're asking. Well, do you know why it's weird that they follow me and are chatting in my chat?
Oh, I know exactly why. But if you're asking me, I know.
That's why it's weird. But it's quirky weird, right? But they're voting for Gauntlet. However, Word War Debate person, we need somebody to come over and complete our dono goal in order to maneuver to the Gauntlet. So put your money where your mouth is, Word War Debate. Come over here and get 60 more bucks on the target. Thank you.
So I just want to acknowledge that like that whole dispute we had with God's favorite aunt, I was actually correct, and now we have a name, right? Lorraine Pellegrino.
Yeah,
I couldn't cite her name in the middle of that moment. Then we backed down for a second. I looked it up, and now I know. Lorraine Pellegrino was convicted for lying and saying she was a fake, or saying she was selected by her state. Why are you interrupting me?
Change the fact that doesn't change the fact that in the moment you were talking out of your ass.
No, I wasn't. I was referencing facts that I understood to be true, and it turned out that when I verified those facts, they still showed to be true.
Understood to be true. You were talking out of your ass, and then when it was said that the case was dismissed by a judge, you conceded. And then
not to all of them.
And then Effigy came in here and resurrected you like a phoenix. So now you're like, I was right, you were wrong.
No, Effigy didn't find this. I looked into this on my own. No, you're just rewriting history.
Dane Massa subscribed to QAnon on X, and so your story and narrative, Massa. I'm so sorry, Dane.
That's actually not an argument, Duck. It's stupid looking, but it's not an argument.
Oh, it's not logical. Oh, Dane knows this too. I'm also sorry then, Massa. I don't know no logic. I ain't smart like that.
That is
I'm
true,
sorry,
Duck.
Massa.
That is true, Duck. You don't know no logic.
I apologize. Yes.
Pole.
Do you have a point in all of that other than you're intimidated by me, so you got to act like that to try to get some kind of clout?
No, I was making fun of you because it's not cloud.
Because you feel intimidated by me because you're not getting enough attention. My understanding is that you only get attention. My understanding is that you only get attention when you get booted. You are so disliked that people pay money to boot you, but you think you're going to try to insult me? Bitch, please.
Hold on. He's so disliked. Mr. Dane. Duck is so disliked. He actually has his own emoji in the members emojis of no duck. He's got his own emoji. Mama loves to use it. But yes, less than 6 minutes to hit that final dono goal, or else we are all shutting down. And I wasn't ready to shut down, so don't disappoint me, friends.
What is the dono goal?
It's $60, so you just need 6 more $10 donos.
Well, hell, I can't pay that much, Sarah. I just don't think you're worth that much. If I give you $60, I'll have to answer to Deidre.
Watch this, like that.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, Dane's a $60 kick right now.
I'm sure that means something to somebody, but I have no idea what that means.
Well, I'll tell you what. Duck is a $50 boot. And $10 is on the house. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, okay, I see what you mean.
It is noted, Alexander. It is very noted.
I'm ready to go to bed because unlike Duck,
you're cranky.
Unlike Duck, probably I have 2 X chromosomes waiting on me to come to bed with her.
All I heard was him saying he has 2 X chromosomes.
Peace Dynamo has an excellent point here. Duck really needs a course in being personable. I think Duck just fails at understanding social cues sometimes. I really don't even think it's his fault. I don't even think he does it on purpose. I just think he lacks the understanding. That's all.
I don't agree with your analysis.
I try to be friendly. It's just when politics comes out, when politics comes off, all bets are off. There's nothing left on the table when politics are. I will scream at anyone for being a transphobic, homophobic, anti-Semitic, racial fool. I will scream those things.
But that's very feminine. I mean, you're welcome to be feminine and controlled by your emotions like that, but that's very feminine.
Masculinity is about being homophobic, guys.
That's also feminine. No, masculinity is about being well, it's about a lot of things, but one of them is being in control of your emotions. For instance,
I don't agree. Technically, I don't agree.
For instance, the reason that someone like me can come into these sort of situations where I have 2 or 3 or 4 different people who are on the other side of the political spectrum and they want to jump on me, the reason I can go back and forth without spurging out like y'all do is because I'm in control of my emotions. So when you say, well, when politics come out, I just go crazy, it's because you're in control by your emotions.
My good sir, you have been spurging while you've been up here.
Speaking of emotions, you're all about to get incredibly emotional when I shut this bitch down. You have less than 3 minutes and only 5 more donos to go. You're halfway there. I know you can do it. I believe in you. We've got Santa Claus. Santa, tell them about all of the magic that happens when they make those 5 more donations.
Well,
I agree, Alexander.
You make 5 more donations, and we get to keep debating, and we can go over to the gauntlet, and I can keep telling Ryan and Duck and Effigy and the rest of the ladies just what a bunch of weak punk bitches they are. because I seem to be the only one left here that's got good sense, not counting Sarah, but she's a woman, so she doesn't count. That's what happened. Kick out, what is it, $50 more? Kick out $50 more, and you can keep seeing my beautiful physique. There's a reason my wife calls me
play
Big
some
Daddy.
Pokemon.
So you
Pokemon
can see
Legends.
I got a question.
DLC comes out tomorrow night.
I can keep entertaining you. If they would shut up, I could keep entertaining you.
That's not a bad idea,
and
Lefty,
have
but I don't want to host it.
Big fun.
I'll invite him, though.
If you just kick out another $50. I mean, look, if you kick out 40, I tell you what, you kick out $40 more. If whoever this fool is keeps trying to steal my spotlight, well, shut up. Kick out $40 more, and I'll throw in $10, and we can go to the gauntlet. That's my offer.
Yeah.
There we go.
And it looks like we're going to get Ben on here. He's done working in chainsaws, so he'll come play on the gauntlet if we continue. And Mama's excited to hear that because Mama knows with Ben comes doggos, and there she is, saved by the ladies tonight. Ayatin is such a sweet gem. She actually saved the chat last night from the cheap seats as well.
But I'm sleepy.
She sent a big hundo. She put my first favorite color on screen last night, and now my second favorite color to help save all of your asses. So matriarchy rules tonight. She saved all of you. Everyone say thank you, Ayatin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as promised, Balderson's making his way up. In the midst of that, I'm going to go ahead and connect the gauntlet and get that kicked off. Those of you who know where you're going, you can start heading there in about 60 seconds. Those who don't, I will drop the link in the chat, and I will also set up the raid so you can get set up over there. All right, are we ready for our next topic, gentlemen?
Sarah, when you do the raid, does that raid us over too, or do I need to click the link?
You just stay right where you are. You don't have to do anything. I made it easy
Good.
for you.
Good, I'm fat and old. I'll just stay
Santa
where I'm
can sit
at.
on his fat ass and do nothing. All right. The perils of white nationalism, religious fundamentalism in America. Then they said TIA. What's TIA?
Thanks in advance. I don't know.
Oh, okay. The
Maybe.
perils of
Great
white
fucking
nationalism and religious fundamentalism in America. It's more of just a topic, not a question or a statement. Go.
Well, I mean, I guess, is there anyone here who doesn't acknowledge that these perils exist? That if the white nationalists, if the religious zealots, if these people take control, that they're going to make things worse for the population that is, the target of their ire?
How do you
I
define
think
better
that's
or
what's
worse?
coming bigger than shit.
What?
I think that's what's coming bigger than shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're a lot of them are in very powerful positions right now. Stephen Miller, I believe personally, I think he's a white nationalist, and I think he wants to see a lot of brown people kicked out of the country, and I think he's seeing that right now, and I think he's enjoying it, and I think it's pretty gross. Is anyone happy about it, or also feeling the disdain and fear that I am? I mean,
why would you be feeling fear?
Because I don't hate brown people.
War of Armageddon.
I don't either, but why would you be feeling fear?
Because I care about people who might be kicked out of my country, and
I do as well. But why was that called fear for you? I mean, fear is a cool emotive word in speeches like you just gave to try to stir up emotion.
No, I'll communicate.
Why would you feel fear? I love people who aren't white. I think most all white people who are sensible people do. And I have an issue with these white nationalists who are basically white supremacists. Not all, but many. But I'm asking you that sense of fear.
Yeah.
I'm asking you why you would fear that.
Well, there's multiple reasons. So, for one, because there are people who I care about who I'm fearful to see them be targeted by these sorts of policies. But secondary, from a more self-interested perspective, I recognize that these sorts of tendencies, which are fascistic tendencies, to be clear, these sort of tendencies, they don't build cages for one group, and once they're done with those using those cages on the group they're currently targeting, they go to the next one. And sometimes that even just turns into people who oppose them ideologically, which would obviously be me. And so I do think from a self-interested perspective, even, there's reason for me to be personally afraid of this sort of fascism,
Maybe. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Fill in the rest.
I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, The Princess Bride, but I will quote a one-liner from that. You keep using that word. I'm not sure it means what you think it means. When you say fear, when I hear a man, especially in a situation like this say, well, I'm afraid of this, so I fear that. I think of an emotional response of being afraid. Do you mean you're afraid, or do you mean you're concerned by the developments and what it's going to take to address those developments?
Both.
Okay, when you said I fear X,
why are we
which one did you
hyperfixating
mean?
on this
What did you
fucking word?
mean?
When I
Because
fear,
it makes sense. It's called semantics, which is a very important part of logic, dumbass.
I'm telling you, it strikes fear. It makes me feel scared. I feel scared for my country. I feel scared for my countrymen. I feel scared for my friends and family. I feel scared. Yes.
I get it, man. I'm not here trying to put you down for being afraid. It's just that me, as a man and everything, fear doesn't even really enter into the spectrum for me. So it's always interesting to me when I hear other men say that things like this causes them fear. I mean, I can understand concern. I'm concerned by it as well. You know, so I'm concerned about it. So I think, well, what are the possibilities? And when the possibilities, if they show up, then how should I respond to it? And what are the risks? And what is the strategy to the best tack to take, and those sorts of strategies. But as far as me clutching my pearls and being, oh my goodness, this is going on. Whatever will we do? This is going to be so bad. I'm afraid. That doesn't occur to me. So I'm trying to understand why you would actually be.
Everything is just like
afraid.
oriented into this. I'm the man, you're not the man kind of couching. Like that's the whole fucking night tonight.
Okay, look.
Yeah, I mean, all that. Despite that whole spiel,
say the drink word. Say like someone's feminine, so we can all drink our
Pardon
drink.
me for just a moment. I am officially shutting down the Raging Tomato side. So if you want to continue watching, I've dropped the link into the chat, and you should be able to catch the raid over as well. We will catch you over on the flip side. Since it's almost midnight, we're gonna go ahead and head on over. Okay, we'll see you there. All right, back to you, gentlemen.
So,
It's
Dane,
only
I wanted
11
to address
o'clock
you
at
real
my
quick.
house, but what I don't understand is why it is that these lefties, Ryan over here can explain how he feels and why. I can explain why I feel and why. And then instead of engaging with the point I'm making, you just got some kind of like bullshit about, well, he's just always just
that's enough
like
meta.
that.
Thank you, Dane. So
Yeah,
Dane,
we got
I
it.
want to address you
Cool.
about fear. So for me, I do know of two types of fear, and you actually described them. And the latter one, the concern, that one actually goes into I'm hoping from your mannerisms, the fear of the Lord, right? Now I have no doubt in my mind that you have fear of the Lord. Is that correct?
Why is that?
You're not supposed to fear the spaghetti monster, bro. It's not about fear.
You don't?
Hell no, you don't fear.
Where in the
I'm
world did
also
religion
not
play
scared
into
because
anything
I don't think there's a
said?
creator of the universe.
No,
so.
this topic literally is based on religion. You do understand that, right?
I don't agree. We're not
I
we're
don't
not talking about religion right
understand
now.
Why
Eric,
so many
can you
people on the
repeat the
right
topic?
want to start talking about
Because maybe I-
religion?
maybe I
haven't talked about
misunderstood the
anything to do with
topic.
religion.
Maybe
That's true,
maybe
Dane. I
I
appreciate that.
misunderstood the topic. Can you actually repeat the topic? Is that possible?
Oh, you know what? Clay actually has a good point. So one of the things was about religious fundamentalism. I apologize, Clay.
Yeah, religious fundamentalism, right. So when we're talking about this subject particularly, you're going to reach a point where people who don't believe in God don't understand the fear of the Lord, which I am assuming you are a man who fears the Lord.
Why would
What
you
they
assume
fear-
that? Why would you
Because of your
assume that?
mannerism.
Because of my
Because of your
accent?
mannerism. No, because of your
What mannerism? I'm not even Catholic. The Catholics do this, and I didn't even do that. What mannerism?
You can't answer a simple fucking question, can you?
No, I'm just calling out your bullshit. You didn't ask
I'm
me a
calling out
question
your
to answer.
bullshit
You
because
didn't
you're
ask
gonna
me a
sit here and
question.
pretend
You made a
that you don't
dumbass
fear the
claim.
Lord.
You
don't-
made a
you don't fear
dumbass
the Lord.
claim. You
All-
made a
listen,
dumbass
all
claim.
will
I
bow
You
want to
think-
point out, so you guys can settle the fuck down for a second. The bottom row is officially the battle of the beards. Sorry, Ryan, yours didn't make it in this cut.
I
It's
had
not
none
long
taken.
enough.
Yeah.
But look at that. Look at that. This is so handsome. Oh, I love it. Okay, you guys can continue. I'm going to put you back up there, Fatty. Go ahead. I apologize. You just have to take a moment to cool you down sometimes. All right.
Well,
I'm just wanting to know,
Let me
Clay over here
let me
has made the
apologize for
assumption
offending you
that
so
I'm a Christian.
harshly because I
haven't
said that you
anything here about
probably
being a
believe
Christian.
that it is fear of the Lord that drives you. Maybe I should just apologize. Maybe you don't fear the Lord. Is that a correct statement?
Whether I do or not doesn't matter in the argument. You've made an assumption you pulled
Bro,
out of your
you
ass.
are
I've said
absolutely
nothing all
terrible at
night about any religious beliefs. You
No,
pulled
you
it
are
out of your ass.
terrible at this. Literally, this conversation is
No,
religion.
he's actually really good. He's really good at detouring conversations. He's a fucking expert at it. It seems like
That's true.
Like taking us into the woods every fucking
He is.
turn.
Yeah.
He's the one taking it into the woods. He brought up religion. I didn't.
Literally said.
Okay, I blame Clay now then, but let's let him go on.
I can't believe you would just
No,
that.
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You began by saying that I feared the Lord,
Fair
but you have
enough.
no
Okay.
reason.
Yeah,
to
but
believe
my
it.
beard's not
You
like
have
theirs,
no
Kelly.
reason to
Like, it's
believe.
fair. I got a
No
different
reason
kind
to
of beard.
believe. You pulled it out of your ass, man. You pulled it out of your ass.
Here, I'll get us back on topic. Let me get us back on topic.
Thank you, Effigy.
I think Christian nationalism in America will never be completely disentangled from white nationalism because it never has been in this country. The two have always been conjoined twins. When one pops up, the other one does. Christian nationalism is how white nationalism sneaks back into the world because that's where it's hiding right now. Right underneath all those fucking Christian dudes who are trying to like run into the government, all the fucking Fuentes people are starting to get accepted by it. That's how it fucking happens. There, we're back
100% agree.
And I don't disagree at all because that idea actually came over with the European colonies, right? That idea that white people are better than any other race, and they brought with it this Christian ideology, which is a false Christian ideology, if you ask me. But nonetheless, the two are intertwined. It's a political Christian nation. For some reason, they believe that that's actually even possible, but they don't actually espouse to fear the Lord, which is actually the point that I was making about this particular religious doctrine. What they fear is what another man is going to say about them.
Yeah.
Are you saying that I fear what another man's going to say about me?
Hey, Brick.
I didn't say anything about you, bro. You just brought yourself into it. You
I'm
obviously
asking
do.
you in general. I'm asking you in
Obviously
general.
do.
I gotta. Hey, Brick.
We're cooked.
You say I obviously do. I've been on this panel
Yes,
all
you do.
night.
What's up?
I've been on this panel all night with what 2, 4, 6, what 6 or 7 men, and I have not given a good damn what any of you thought about me. So
asked
I
me a
need
question.
you to,
I answered it. What's up, Uncle Fatty?
well, yeah, but it was bullshit. I've been on this panel jousting.
We know you've been on the panel. Let someone else talk, man.
It's like an open-ended thing.
Actually, Admiral Gibbs, allow me to throw the prompt to you. It's not a question, it's merely just a topic. So take it as you will. The perils of white nationalism and religious fundamentalism in America. Go.
Yeah, I think that that is a problem to some extent as far as like extremists. I like it, you know, have you all seen Underworld Origins where the vampires and the werewolves show up and it's like always the better the devil you know? I think we've got a little bit of that right now. Although I do think that people attribute too much white nationalism to the extreme right. I think you'd be surprised at how much white nationalism they are on the left. I've argued many times that Nazis are still around, and by Nazis I mean National Socialists, aka Democratic Socialists. There's a reason why Byrd and Duke and several other people like Fuentes have all voted on the left in recent years. Richard Spencer's an avid socialist, as well as a white nationalist. Now, I'm not saying the right doesn't have a white nationalism problem, especially when it comes to religion and some of these other things. But when I'm looking at this, I think it's a concern, right? And the concern I have is many white nationalists, at least on the right, will be satisfied with like a keeping of what they decide is American culture, whatever that may be. There's some nebulous idea, and there's many that would be satisfied as if, and like I can almost like tolerate that as somebody that's white passing. You know, I'm Hispanic, but like I'm not brown enough for the browns. I'm not white enough for the whites. If the Nazis get in charge, they're going to put me on the maybe not the first round to the camps, but when they start doing blood testing, I'm going in the third or fourth. So like I don't really want them getting in charge, you know. But on the reverse is true too, and so it's almost like they're never going to gain enough power to do that. And so it's like an alliance of convenience within the right as opposed to a real threat. Versus on the left, I think it is a real threat that you get a group like this in charge. Like the socialists who are just racist and believe in slavery for Hispanics. It's terrible.
Jesus.
What?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, I mean, you say that, but
it just seems like you have
passed
to
the worst,
assume.
most racist laws in our recent history. He wrote them, got them passed. That was all you guys. So I'm not who the fuck. Why you're going Jesus? Like that's just wow.
What do you mean, you guys? I'm responsible for the legislation that Biden passed in the 90s. I don't even think Biden endorses that legislation anymore.
Democrats are very racist.
Walks like a duck,
Some of the older ones, yeah. I think Biden was one of the people who was he had kind of like a cringe racism, but like frankly, I mean, I think he was pretty consciously. I think he was pretty conscious in his older years of what racism actually looked like and how it manifested, and I think he was actively against it. Frankly,
what's more racist than saying
since you're for a vote? That dude was crazy racist his whole life. He fought desegregation. Said black kids coming into his school with his kids would make them a jungle. Like,
yeah, I know. And I think Joe Biden in recent years would disavow this stuff. So
you guys remember
we all know he said this stuff.
That was Democrats.
I know it's beyond midnight. That's why we moved over to Tardville. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to act like tards. You know my rules. Just one at a time. One at a time.
Can we talk about aliens, Sarah?
Before we do, can I respond to what Balderson was saying real quick? Because I mean,
ask you a question after that as well.
Yeah, I agree. Biden said these awful things. I think the difference is between people like Biden and others who might have pushed for those policies. Sorry, please. That like Biden is one of these people who has gone on the record condemning these past policies of his, right? He doesn't support these things anymore, and he acknowledges the harm they've done. And when people do that, I tend to support them more if they acknowledge that they did bad things in the past. I used to say stupid stuff when I was younger, right? And I'm glad that I don't anymore, and I recognize that, like, maybe when I did, I might have made people around me uncomfortable.
But
you were younger, Ryan?
Who didn't pass the mandatory minimum, didn't pass the 3 strike laws, didn't pass the welfare reforms, and said, "I'm not racist." You don't believe him?
Wait, I missed. I think I missed one. Well, the first one
Biden
was reading.
Donald Trump was not a conservative Republican until he got ready to run for office. Biden was a racist until he got ready to run for president. They're two sides of the same coin.
Life? Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, Trump's a grifter, right?
He's been a racist his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding?
Nobody thought Trump was a racist until he got ready to run for president.
Trump literally called for the execution of the Central Park Five.
It doesn't make him a racist because you're a racist. You see the reality in color. So because the Central Park Five were black, then you say he must have been a racist because you can't think outside of race. But nobody, all of these black celebrities lined up, all of these Democrats lined up to take his money, and they loved him until he got ready to run for office. Now, for the record, I didn't vote for Trump the first 2 times. So I'm not a Trumper. I'm not a MAGA person, but the truth is everybody loved Trump till he got ready to run for president.
You're
Trump,
not listening to
not true.
Fatty. Fatty is talking to you.
Okay.
You're talking
Trump did not become a conservative until he was ready to get elected.
The next person to interrupt someone, I will automatically drop you backstage for 10 minutes or until you've bought your way back up. All right? Depends on how much you piss me off. Stop over talking each other. You're grown men. You know better. Thank you. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Because I got to bail anyways.
Sure, go ahead, Uncle Fatty.
Just before we move too far, Ryan, let me ask you this, okay? So I've argued against race-based policies many times, and as a Hispanic, right? And I've just talked about how I'm like in between 2 worlds here. But it's kind of frustrating to be told that I'm not able to accomplish anything on my own. And so thus I need them to come give me a handout and help me out get a job or help me get into college, or like, oh, you can't get it on your own merits. And it's going to be the shadow over me no matter what I do, right? Like I could get into law school. I got into law school, right? Cool. It's great. But it's like, oh, did you get in on your own merits, or did they need an affirmative action quota at the time, right? And this is concerning because I see what your argument, what you did, honestly, very masterful, very impressed, where you tried to say, oh, it's the old Dems that were the racists. I actually see the new, younger Dems as more racist because what are they doing? Y'all are advocating bringing illegals here and giving them citizenship basically to enslave them to voting for y'all through welfare programs. It's a welfare trap. And then you're going to sit here and get them to vote and maintain power. You do it at the expense of other minorities. This is why African Americans in Chicago are pissed. And then you're going to turn right around and say, oh, we're doing this for their benefit because they came from these countries that they ran. And it's actually very racist. You're like, they turned their countries into shitholes and, they came to America for better life. They couldn't accomplish on their own. So now we have to just gift it to them because they still aren't capable of capability. Don't you see the inherent racism in this, like, I hate to use y'all's terms, but white savior complex for the left that y'all are doing?
So, I mean, frankly, I will acknowledge a couple things there. Like, I acknowledge the complexes that can arise from things like DEI and affirmative action, where people might feel like perhaps they might not have gotten an opportunity without these things. And I think there are like real concerns about that. I think there's real concerns about the Black community being affected by immigration and other minority communities being affected by immigration. I think there's a lot of, I think there's valid concerns to all of these things. But I don't think any of that means that supporting these things inherently is racist, right? Like supporting DEI, which equity in diversity, this expands the pool of qualified people. Just because there are more, or just because more people are getting the opportunity to end up in these positions, doesn't mean in reality that they were selected specifically because they were part of these minority communities. Now, in the cases where they are, I can understand more why people might have concerns about that, and I can also understand why people broadly have these concerns, because a lot of people like Gibbs here will narrativize these programs and say that they're all these kind of quota systems, which don't really exist by and large. So I understand some of this stuff. And like the emotional tug behind it, but I don't think it aligns with the reality very well.
It increases the pool by lowering the standards.
It's not true.
So yes, it does.
DEI doesn't do that.
If I'm understanding,
it's like not even a debate, really. Like,
if I'm understanding your response to Gibbs, Ryan, what you're saying is that Gibbs' understanding of DEI and CRT and affirmative action and everything as a Hispanic, that he's just mistaken. But you know how.
Well, no, he's probably. I think Gibbs is kind of dishonest. I think Gibbs is kind of being dishonest about it, which is fine. I think he's having fun. But
okay, so you think those Mexicans are dishonest? I guess.
Well, that's your words. I just said Gibbs. I don't do collective punishment like you guys do.
Corrupt and liars and
Gibbs, if I can ask you, when you say you're Hispanic, man, I'm just curious, because what I'm looking at when I look at you. No. When I look at you, I think Scottish. So I'm interested in knowing how the Hispanic works out.
Nice try, though.
Well, I'm like 100% Spanish, if you want to trace my ancestry.
Oh, so Spanish, like Spain.
Yeah, Spanish,
So not Hispanic.
So, when we talk about white saviors, we should actually talk and give credit to Spain, because they came in and saved all the tribes from the evil Aztecs.
True.
Yeah,
true.
We saved them. The Mejia king literally had his daughter skinned and presented to him as a cloak by the Aztec emperor. They had festivals where 88,000 people were killed in 3 days, and then they were turned into pozole. You know why pozole uses pork to this day? Because the Aztecs were literally eating them, and we have evidence of this outside Spanish accounts now, where at temples they found the thigh meat scraped from the inside. So yeah, white saviors are good in the case of Spain. They're bad in the case of the Dims, where they think we're not smart enough as Hispanics to make it on our own. And it absolutely does lower the pool whenever I go, oh, these two guys have equal qualities. But, hey, actually, this guy's a little bit lower, but since he's black or since he's Muslim or since he's whatever, he's going to get bumped in over the white guy because we need to meet a quota.
Can you show me an example of that happening?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have one in front of me, but I'm sure I can find
I know you don't. Yeah.
Sure.
Asians in college.
I know you don't have. Can you show me an example of that not happening? Because I can show with college, we know for a fact that people that got into Harvard, statistically, if they got in on there, they did really bad. So yeah,
on affirmative action. Wait. The majority of them did not.
I can find that. Yeah, so sure.
The majority of people who got in affirmative action did not do really bad. Some of them did. That's true.
Doesn't Harvard and a few other prestigious schools aren't they offering free education?
The DEI guy that ran into a bridge. That was a big deal.
Anyway, I'm not opposed to. Yeah, I'm not opposed to. Oh, sorry, Sarah. Yeah,
aren't they offering free education to people whose parents make under a certain amount or something like that?
Maybe is that bad?
No, I'm just wondering if they're guaranteeing their entry as well, or if it's what the requirements are for that.
I mean, a lot of scholarships are financial based, so I that's always been a thing, right? I don't know if.
You mean recently with the school vouchers?
No, I think he's talking about federal grants and stuff to go to college or higher education.
Yeah, but the school itself is offering free education to those whose parents don't make over a certain amount.
Well, yeah, FAFSA's done that forever.
No, not government funding of any sort. The school itself is saying we will give you a free education if your parents make under a specific amount, right? But
right. It's an attempt to undo the class system, basically, for the Ivy Leagues, where it's basically all just the kids of rich people.
Right.
Right. But so the only qualifier, though, is that you have to make under a certain amount. You don't have to have straight A's to get in, right?
that's my
No,
question.
you have to get in.
That's my question is what are the requirements behind that? But I also then further question, like, what if my parents make like $10,000 more than that, and you know what I mean, like
you might not qualify.
Just enough, right? But I guess where I want to go with that is like keep the elite to the elite, and I don't mean that in an asshole way, but if you can't afford it, then you have to work hard enough to obtain scholarships.
I had
like
both,
anyone.
Sarah. Just I had means tested and I had performance tested scholarships.
If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Like and I'm like, I look at it as either you have to work your ass off and pay one class at a time, or you have to do good enough to get actual scholarships. Because I mean, to me, that's how I look at it. Is like, why not just give them a scholarship then and make them compete for it, not just hand them out, right? I mean, obviously you have to be able to get into the school, but why not make them compete for the scholarship too? Or that's what I don't know what the requirements are, but that's what I'm saying is why are we not making them compete for it? It's just, oh, well, your parents make below a certain amount, here, free education.
Well, the competition is getting into the school.
Yeah.
Ivy League schools have incredibly high standards.
For Ivy League schools,
They don't have unlimited
there's
spots.
State schools. There's state schools as well that have, like you just get accepted to the school, but that doesn't mean you get accepted into every college as well, right? And so, like, I mean, it's just one of those absurdities. Like, because I know some people want to hear this. Is like I went to ASU, so there's WP Carey, which is a tough business school to get into. There's a bunch of other stuff they have going on now that's hard to get into. But I studied political science, so I could sign up, and then I could sign up for political science classes, right? Like, it wasn't the honors college, right? As well, like it wasn't the honors college. I did do the honors college, but
yeah, Sarah. I mean, to respond specifically, like
a white kid that's got like straight C's, right? And they don't let him into the college because he's like a C student, right? And they pick a little black girl that has straight A's from the hood.
Yeah, because she had straight A's, so that I don't see that as DE. That's not a case where, like, even if she's eligible for DEI, that's not like a DEI thing.
Well,
and if there's scholarship funds for
Or is it,
African Americans or first generation African Americans, then she might qualify for those, right? Isn't that?
Yep.
That's the difference with that.
I mean, I qualify for a LULAC scholarship, right, for kids without Hispanic kids without fathers. Now I'm adopted. And I've been adopted since I was like 3 days old, right? And I've known both. So I for those both parents. I don't know my real father, right? I know of him and where he's at. You know, I know he jumped the border here legally, all that good jazz. And I qualify for that. Now you're telling me that I should have qualified for this? No, but I had the loophole. And it's like people be doing these kind of things, and that's all sorts of loopholes. Now imagine if you had a white person only scholarship fund. Oh well, we can't do that. That's bad. That's racism's alive and well. It's just against white people now.
I mean, I think we all kind of understand why a whites only scholarship would be. I mean, white people predominantly are not like falling short in any way. Like,
why?
Well, look,
there
as
are
the country
plenty of
moves
white
back
people.
into
There are plenty of white people who lack the advantages to get into college for the same circumstances that a lot of black people do. This
not the
idea that
exact
white
same
people are
circumstances,
equipped is a myth of the left. So explain to me why it is that we all understand, which is a logical fallacy, the appeal to the consensus, why it would be wrong to have a white-only scholarship and not a black-only scholarship.
Because the IRS is not going to take you seriously.
Because the majority of all scholarships go to white people.
Yeah, basically.
So it's unnecessary.
Well, that's meritorious, but that's not the question.
It's not actually.
If there was a scholarship,
But hold on. I think what he's saying is if there was the Ryan the Radical Coder scholarship available for any student to compete for, whatever. And the Radical Coder scholarship, anyone of any color, of any race can come and compete for it. And let's say a black kid wins the scholarship, okay? Because he interviewed well and had the highest grades and perfect attendance and all these great things. Okay, black kid wins the anybody scholarship. But then you have the, let's say, African American whatever scholarship that is available for African American children of New York, and it's sponsored by Uncle Fatty. Uncle Fatty is identifying as black this evening.
I would sponsor the Mormon one for the whites only.
That might be one way to do it.
He is, let's say he is black, and he says, for all of my African American students, please apply here, XYZ. Now, can I go and apply for Uncle Fatty's scholarship?
No.
You can apply.
No.
But why? Well, yeah, you can apply. You'll get rejected, right? But let's think. Let's be real.
But can anyone who applied for Uncle Fatty's scholarship also apply for the second option or ability or whatever to apply for your scholarship as well?
Also,
so you're actually, they're able to I can't even talk to
apply
them.
for both. Yes.
They can apply for both, whereas the white student would only be able to
Yeah.
apply for one.
Well, there's an elephant in the room, Sarah.
There's a reason. There's a huge reason. There's a huge reason why these are different never mind. I just don't think you can erase history.
Yeah, I mean, we all listen. We all know this was a white supremacist state until 50 years ago. Like we all know, except for you guys pretend not to. So.
But the problem is you're not letting the best be the best. And if the best happens to be, let's say there's 10 scholarships going out for one school, and it's only 10 white students that happen to win those scholarships because they were deemed as the best, you're not allowing the best to be the best because you're too worried about, we need at least one Asian kid, one Indian kid, one black kid, one this kid, one that kid. No,
if I could
let the best be the best.
But that's not what we're doing.
If I could say this, let's say I am a cajillionaire and I want to set aside a trust and foundation to fund a scholarship at a university. And I say that the recipients of that scholarship have got to be a certain percentage of European descent, i.e. white people. Can anyone mount a objectively moral argument that would explain to me why it's my money, it's my foundation I'm donating, why it would be immoral to set up a standard that's only to help white people pay for the college expenses?
I don't know. Is that even illegal to do?
That's not the question. I'm asking you to mount an
I don't care if you do that. Go ahead.
Moral argument to
No, I don't have one. Go ahead.
doing that is immoral.
No, go ahead, do it. I don't give a shit.
I can't do, but you would if someone at a university came out with a foundation that was a whites-only scholarship. You would care then.
Well, but Fatty already had a great example of how those things already kind of exist. Like if someone puts out a scholarship for a group that is 99% white, it is a whites-only scholarship, right?
That's not the question. I'm asking you to mount an objective argument, a morally objective argument to explain to me why it's immoral. Not that it already happened.
I'm not saying it's immoral. I mean, is anyone saying it's immoral?
Well, then what would be the problem with it? You think racism is immoral, correct?
The only time that
sort
it
of,
would
yes.
be considered immoral, which would actually it would be illegal, is if it comes from the government. But if it's a private organization like a nonprofit and you want to set that up, that's not immoral. It's not bad. You can do that. If you want to send only white kids to college with your money as a personal person, then you can do that. Legally
I'm not sure.
and morally.
There might be some. I don't know if there are. I just have no clue about the specific.
No, typically people would set it up as like Italian heritage or something like that.
Yeah.
Is more
Yeah, you wouldn't just say
specific to your
whites.
actual ethnic
Yeah.
heritage, not
Why do you
just
think
white.
there's so many contract lawyers in America? Because of fancy fucking wording. It all depends on how you word the shit and make sure you're not saying something against something or whatever else. It's just like firing somebody. You can hire and fire for whatever you want. As soon as you tell them why, now they have a lawsuit.
Choosy choosers.
Is there a men's only scholarship out there anywhere, like for men?
Football scholarships.
Yeah, I'm sure there's men's scholarships.
Sure,
I'm sure there's
other
other
people who want to put
saying,
money
'cause
to
I know-
scholarships. There exist.
I 100% know there are women's scholarships out the wazoo. So I didn't know if there was like a, Young Men of America or some shit like that kind of thing.
Probably.
There's a scholarship for
maybe
every
Turning Point.
There's
Maybe
every
Turning Point
group's
will
got
open
one.
up
The
like a
chess
Charlie
club's got
Kirk
one.
scholarship fund for.
Oh, I'm sure they already have
or
one
something.
cooking. If they haven't already.
Trying to get a chapter in every fucking school.
Well, that's actually interesting, right? So, like, I'll give you an example here. Conservatives kind of flip on this when it comes to some of these scholarships, though, right? And I'll give you one example. So, in sports, what is the top league? It's the men's league, right? So, in D1 college football, it's just all men, except there are women who have been able to play D1 college football because they were athletic and talented enough, right? And women are a protected class. So we have women's only college scholarship sports, college scholarships, right? And we protect them. And this is a problem when we do trans sports or trans people sports. Generally,
it's because the men's teams bring in bigger crowds and make more money.
No, well, that's not all. Hold on. Hear me out.
Straight up.
I'm generally pretty anti like transit sports, right? But I'm pretty socially liberal. So I'm like, if you want to do whatever you want to do at your own home, that's fine. However, this is what I have the problem with in sports is you take something from a protected class like women, and we already have an all gender sport group, right? Which is the men's league or a D1, right? You could be a woman and be good enough to get a scholarship in there. Why are we having people go the opposite way? And this is kind of interesting because in this case, conservatives do want the exclusivity and they do want to protect the class in women, and they don't want men going into that sport for them because they already have the all gender league. And I mean, women can play anything. Can you tell me one reason why, if we had a woman built like Ray Lewis and was as good as Ray Lewis, why they wouldn't draft her to, like, I don't know, the Ravens to replace him? They wouldn't. It'd be a publicity stunt. They would immediately because, one, publicity, and two, it's just if they're athletic enough, why not? And so that's why I have a problem when we do the backwards kind of thing with the trans and sports.
Hey, Gibbs.
From the position here on this when it comes to race and sports. Yeah.
Isn't it the case? It's women aren't a protected class, right? Gender or sex is a protected class. It's a different thing. Like it's not like women specifically. It's sex is a protected class.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to protect men. So it's women.
Biological.
But the various titles and stuff regarding the sex discrimination apply just as well both ways. If companies or schools or whatever were doing that,
No, hold on. If I'm a man and I was like in the 1800s or 1880s or whatever, and I went back and I decided, hey, I'm a woman, but I wouldn't vote and I still had a dick, right? And I did, like, they would let me vote. They would just call me a weirdy. Maybe they tar and feather me or something, but I could still go vote. But guess what?
Okay.
Now, but if the woman had done that, wouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah,
not if you were a black man.
Yeah, okay, but all I'm doing is pointing out that you said like women are a protected class, but it's not true, right? It's sex is a protected class.
Yeah, people with
so you can't discriminate against people for being men or for being women, right?
I mean, the letter of the law. But men weren't being.
Here, right? Don't listen. I get what you're trying to do here, and
I'm not trying to do anything. It's just the
law.
law.
I'm pointing out here. Look, in one case, we have a league that men and women both can compete in if they're skilled enough, right? And what's happening is the reverse is happening. Men are going into the league that we created, especially to protect women and give them an opportunity to showcase their talents because they're not athletically built the same as biological males. And now we have people who have benefited from years and years and years of being a biological male before transition going in there. And in this case, this is a rare case where conservatives flip and say we do have protected classes.
Such a red herring.
Cases.
Well, I'm just curious. Like, what would you have an issue?
It's a non-issue. There's so few people that this even applies to. It's like you guys pump it up to be this enormous issue.
Yeah, I don't want to dive into it, but
I'm talking about like a handful of people across the entire country.
You're honestly like a transitional
women's job employment issues.
Well,
imagine if
this doesn't exist.
It really doesn't. There's just not that many people who they're going to run into that have this problem.
It happens all the time. It's happening all the time.
You just hear about it all the time. There's a huge difference.
That's true. Well, I'm just curious, Gibbs. Like, do you think you would be like, would you have the issue? Is it just that they had like a male puberty or whatever? Like, is that the issue, or like, is it like because let's imagine. Okay, I know this is hard to believe, but imagine there's a trans woman who wants to play sports, and she's just like. Just the most average person, like she competes as well as like the average woman in that league. Like, does she really have an advantage over those women? It seems like she's just if just practically she has like she performs as well as the average woman there. It seems like she would be fine competing with them, right?
Yes,
right? Just
yes, she absolutely has an advantage, and the advantage is
in what sense?
She's lacking. Well, I'll tell you the fact that she's lacking in the talent. Right, and she's making up for it in athletic ability from being a biological man really tells you all you need to say, right? Like when we're talking about basketball, for example, like let's look at basketball. There's a reason why women don't make it in the NBA because men can dunk, right? That's a big reason. They can jump higher, they run fast, or whatever. If a man transitioned, he was a mid-tier like competitor. Even if he's less talented than these women, he would have athletic advantages that would allow him to compete at an equal level in that sport, and that's exactly what's happening. We have the 301st ranked man in powerlifting win the women's world championship a couple years ago, right?
World championship? Was it the world championship, Gibbs?
Yeah, world
Was it?
championship for,
Was it the world
outdoor-
championship? I'm
It
skeptical.
Was. It was. We've had several. We've also had several individual championships. I think this one was in the UK, is the one I'm citing specifically. But that's fine. They come in ranked in the 300th. They win, and they're an average person, and they compete slightly better. But it's just because the only reason why they're able to win is because they competed as a man. And I mean, we can look at numerous examples of weightlifting.
Well, but it sounds like all the examples that you brought up so far are people who are like outperforming the women. Assuming that it's all true, right? It sounds like you're describing people who are outperforming the women. But my hypothetical was not about. My hypothetical was not about a woman who's outcompeting them. It was one who's competing for averagely with. What?
Here's why I don't care about your
3 women they put in the hospital. She's average.
I think there's a lot more trans women to fit my hypothetical than you guys want to believe, but that's why I brought it up.
Here's
But
why I don't care about your hypothetical, Ryan.
Go ahead,
that
tell me.
Small percentage is outmatched by the vast majority of men pretending to be women competing in the space that completely obliterate women's scores. Like,
yeah, I think this is a made up problem.
Where are all the gold medal?
They're everywhere, right? They're in every single event, right? They're all over the place.
Who gold medals? You say? You mean what's that
Where's this
boxer's
happening?
name? Fucking Khalif, the Algerian boxer who claimed to be a woman. Turns out she's actually a man.
Wait, that's not even true.
Really?
That was like Russian propaganda, right?
You lost your medal. You failed the test.
You fell for that shit. You honestly fucking.
Yeah.
This is all about.
Yeah, I
this
believe
is
that.
all
That is
about.
called facts and evidence.
Oh man, no.
This is all about your guys'
They were-
made-up conspiracy belief that
They
there's a
wanted
trans
so bad for there to be a
agenda.
trans
There's-
athlete in the last
There's
Olympics,
nothing
and
that
there weren't.
exists that supports your argument. There's nothing that exists on planet Earth that supports your argument.
Sure feels
Speaking
that
of
way.
support, don't forget to support your favorite host who has to sit here and put up with all of this shit. The rest of you in the audience can just fucking leave. You just turn it off and walk away, switch the channel, whatever you want to do. But I have to sit here through it happily with a fucking smile on my face. Make it a big smile while you're at it. I'm just going to go make a cup of coffee. But it might not even be worth the coffee if the dono goes aren't going to come in. You have 26 minutes to unfuck yourselves and figure that one out.
Can I give a very quick closing?
Are you heading out?
Yeah, I think so. I'm very sleepy.
Oh,
Bless your heart.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Go
Can
ahead,
I?
Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah. go
Yeah,
ahead.
so I mean, this has been fun. We've obviously talked about a whole bunch of different things. I just want to show off my wiener, as always. My good boy, he's been sleeping in my lap, patiently waiting for me to come snuggle him. But yeah, I really enjoyed parts of this conversation. As for, I guess, this most recent topic, I'm not ashamed to admit that I am scared of white nationalism and religious zealots taking over my government and then oppressing people I care about and me. I think it's very concerning. I care about this is like one of the reasons that we talk about politics is because I think a lot of things that are going on in the world do directly affect not just me and the people immediately around me, but also other people around the world and in our country that I don't know. I think it's I think a lot of people are averse when we bring politics into everything, and there are times where sure we could maybe lighten it a bit, but the reality is that I think what's happening in this country is a little bit unprecedented, and a lot of people have been fed a lot of information that makes them think this is like business as usual, and I'm praying that they will recognize that it's not business as usual, and that if we're not staying alert, then we might lose the things that we do all value about this country. And I would like to not see that happen. So I appreciate you all having me. As always, I think a lot of this audience does not have very positive feelings towards me. But hey, if you do have even some tiny little 1/3 Grinch heart that has some affection towards me, then head over to youtube.com/radicalcoder. Give me a subscription. And I'm actually going on Admiral Gibbs' panel on Thursday to talk about the Somali the Somalis in Minnesota who were involved in some fraud that was happened over a couple of years ago and is ongoing right now, the investigations and stuff. So it'll be interesting. I think Rob Knorr and I will be reunited on that panel, so that should be juicy. But yeah, as always, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Ryan.
Good night, Ryan.
We love you. Have a wonderful.
Oh, I cut her off. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. In U.S. federal anti-discrimination law, the protected class is sex. Courts interpret sex to include women, men, gender, gender identity, and sexual orientation, depending on the context. So yeah, I don't like the whole the idea that like people love to say this. Oh, black people are protected class. Like women are protected class. Gay people are protected class. Like no, sexuality is, race is, gender is, sex is. Like these are all protected classes. So I just thought that was I am exhausted. That was kind of a marathon. But yeah, me and Rob are going to be on Gibbs' panel together. I don't know if he's realized it yet or if he's going to bail when he sees that I'm on it. Probably not. I think he'll take me on. I don't think he's that scared. Welcome, Shelton Buster. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Speaking of thumbs up, before I leave, make sure that you like the stream. We love our likers, okay? We really do. Really appreciate it. We got only 17 right now. That's crazy. We gotta get those likes up, guys. Get those likes up. What are you doing? But yeah, I'm very tired, and I'm gonna play a little bit of Pokemon Legends ZA before I fall asleep. When is it? It's Thursday at 7:30 CST, which what time is that in American time? 7:30 CST in EST. Seven in CST is 8 in Eastern. Okay, so 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, the real time, the best ST, right? Not one of the fake STs like CST or PST. None of these nasty ass fake time zones. Thank you all for the support, as always. Yeah, Umbreon and I are going to snuggle. And it's going to be delightful. And maybe... I had a pretty productive day today, so maybe tomorrow we'll find a nice little park to do a walkie-talkie stream. I haven't done those in a little while. 208 HDM says, so what is this channel all about? You're on my suggested feed, but I'm coming in blind. Well, I mean, what we just left from was a Raging Tomato panel. I don't know if you're familiar with Raging Tomato. A friend of mine, Sarah, hosts these panels where she brings people on, and we just fight it out about all sorts of different topics all the time. I'm a progressive. I fight for those values. We talk about like the current politics. We talk about news, but we also do some fun stuff. My background is in as a software engineer and as a coding educator. So I do a lot of fun things with like AI and coding. Like I do a segment called Coding the News or Vibe Coding the News, where we take a news article and transform it into a fun web app. Those are kind of some like ways that we're kind of taking advantage of new technologies to do something kind of unique. But overall, we're just a nice, happy space with a beautiful wiener dog. And if you're here, we're happy to have you here. So. Stick around, and if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If it's not for you, then, that is what it is. But I think you should give it a shot. Let's see. Right. Can you do a sleep stream? You mean like stream while I'm sleeping? Maybe not today. Shelton Buster says, I know how frustrating it is to deal with MAGA. Don't let it get to you. Oh, don't worry. No, I've been in this game for a long time. I've been debating like on these guys are relatively chill considering, but like early on in my career, early on in my streaming and like YouTube stuff, like I was debating like the far right, like the Groypers and stuff, who are unfortunately even more relevant now, which is sad to hear. 208 says, cool, good for you, dude. That sounds really interesting. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, and we're happy to have you here. Seriously, I appreciate the kind words. Josh says, it got suggested to you because his proper hairlined lad is Radical Coder, and he also has an OnlyFans where he whips around jumper cables with cooking bagels. I don't have an OnlyFans, but I do have a Patreon. It's a Umbreon fan club, which you can join for just $1 a month. I highly recommend people check that out. I don't really shill it very often. 208 says, you see Fuentes on Pierce? I heard he was on Pierce. I haven't watched it yet. We might have to cover that. I think that would be interesting. I debated Fuentes like 3 years ago on a modern day debate panel. Crazy enough. It was like our what was it? Our men, oh my God, our men under attack or something. Some one of these like masculine victimization panels. So just some crazy lore, some coder lore. Let's see. He also once shook the hand of a guy who shook the hand of Michelle Obama's first boyfriend, French maid. It was a wild moment. That's true. That happened on stream. Never Under Pressure says, did y'all hear the Commerce Secretary said Americans don't know how good we have it? I mean, I don't want to hear the Commerce Secretary say that. The sentiment is defensible. Because Americans do have it good in a lot of senses. But also, like, I mean, that it doesn't take away that, like, it still sucks to be poor in America, right? But, like, there's something to that. But I don't want to hear the Secretary of Commerce saying that. Like, that's not the person I want to hear that from, you know? Callie says, why are we supposed to settle? Well, that's exactly why I don't want that person saying that, him or her. I actually don't know who the Commerce Secretary is off the top of my head. Oh, I know, Umbreon. Anything else I want to address? Okay, Umbreon's crying, so we're gonna let him go. I'll respond to this last one. Let's see. 208 says, he went kind of mask off. Morgan got under his skin. That's got to be wild. Actually speaking directly to the most vile person alive. If he wasn't so fucking funny. Yeah, no, I agree. And it was actually pretty surreal. I definitely was nervous going in. I think I got my, it was actually kind of annoying because Hunter Avalon was on there and him and Nick were just kind of screaming at each other the whole time. So there wasn't like a lot of opportunity for me to like actually get words in, because I felt like there were a lot of moments where I had like kind of compelling things to say and legitimate grievances with what was happening. But Hunter ruined it for everybody. Hunter and Nick, but I mean, Nick always ruins things like that. But that's interesting that Pierce got under his skin. I'm not surprised. In a sense, but it is very interesting. I like Pierce in that way. I like Pierce when he does that. I don't like Pierce when he's doing Trump apologia, which he tends to do. But anyway, I gotta go to sleep. I could riff on all this forever. So I appreciate you all being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also, if you're feeling generous, you can always get a membership or leave like a super thanks or something on the stream VOD or any of my past videos. Scroll through and find something you enjoy. And I will see you all tomorrow or today, because it's already tomorrow. Anyway, good night.